Welcome to Good Friends, Good Games. We're having very interesting conversation before the stream starts. But if you're listening on Apple and Spotify, you probably won't hear none of that.
No,
we can see his face right now. Oh,
He's
guys.
so red.
He's really, really red. It contrasts that green in the background very nicely. He's literally Christmas themed before it's even Christmas.
So this is Christmas.
Yes, I keep all my ho-ho-hos under my desk.
Green giant.
Oh my god.
We're so getting fired. I'll just fire myself for the inability to maintain any of it.
Now.
Hey guys, let's start up a podcast called Good Friends, Good Games. I'm the host.
Yeah.
Oh god.
This is the ship rerun here.
It's got to go down.
Oh gosh. All right, guys, welcome. Excited to see all you here. We got a full house today. Leshki's back.
Yeah.
Virtual left to me is Dill. We got the bottom left, we've got Leshki, and then right below me is Zenith, who's been causing all kinds of trouble this morning. He came in thinking he was a little saucy. And then Zenith's like, no, I'm fine. I'm good. And then he just started cracking jokes left and right. And the Zenith we all know and love came out.
Sten's still on the bottom as well, as always.
I keep it warm down here just for you.
All right. We got some big news. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to send this over to Leshki. Leshki.
Oh, hi.
Hi. Feel free to share the news with everybody. It's very, very exciting.
So partially the reason for me not being around was because I was not feeling well, because I was nauseous a lot, because I am growing a tiny Tom, or tiny me, but Tom and I are expecting.
We'll know when it comes out.
We'll know soon TM whether it's a me or a him. So, but yeah, I'm back and I'm expecting due in March, Tom and I.
Congratulations.
Which is the reason for the mess in the background, because we're like trying to condense furniture to make room for the baby. So
they're doing all that cute baby stuff. Like if you're listening right now in the listening world, there's furniture stuff on the floor, parts and tools and everything. So like they're building a little nursery there. We're proud of you. We're excited. We can't wait to see.
I'm excited.
We can't wait to see babies on this podcast now. You are more than welcome to just keep the baby in the lap there and
a little podcaster.
A little podcast.
A little podcaster.
Do they have little baby? Do they have little baby headphones? Like, do they have Fisher Price headphones and all that cool stuff?
I'm sure they do.
Oh.
Well, because they always have the headphones to protect the kids' ears from really loud noises. So just use that.
Oh, bro, this is gonna be good. We're gonna have.
Here we go.
Yeah, I used to have one when I was a kid because my dad was I grew up in a recording studio in Vancouver, so I always had those headphones
big muffs,
that cover my ears. Yep.
It's so funny. When I go to when I go to punk shows now, all the bands I listened to growing up, all that, we're all the same age now. The people that would go, we're all parents or grown adults, and some bring their kids, and the kids have big muffles on their ears and all that kind of stuff. But hey. They're still living life.
Protect their little ears.
They're still living life. They're not letting, parenthood bring down their youth or anything. They're just bringing their kid along, put the big ear muffs on. Okay, so what we need now, we need a baby cam. And then we're going to mount baby cam to the crib rail there. And then we're going to have little baby headphones, and there will be a baby cam somewhere.
Well, I had planned to put a playpen here so that whenever I'm in the office and stuff, and I can have the baby in there, so...
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, we need little baby headphones. But congratulations.
Thank
Congratulations. We can't wait.
Excited.
You're due in March, you said?
Late March.
Late March. Keep an eye out for that, folks. We have a baby here. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm gonna slowly get bigger. You can't really see it. Eventually, I'll get bigger.
You'll be like, I can't. Are you in that phase now where you're just eating really weird things?
So the weirdest craving that I had so far was Chef Boyardee.
Ooh.
That might be I don't know if it's because a Hispanic thing, because I grew up eating some of that, and a lot of the things that I'm craving is stuff from my childhood. So Chef Boyardee was the first time.
You grew up on Chef Boyardee, huh?
Well, every once in a while, my mom would always have that spaghetti and meatballs ready for me to go because I was always in a rush to eat.
That's so wild. I don't know. My mom.
It was very random.
My mom talks about how when she was pregnant with me, she craved Jack in the Box tacos.
Specifically.
Specific. Like I need Jack in the Box tacos at like 11 at night. And I'm like,
Oh my
that's
God.
so like specific. Like so. Someone in the chat is asking your Chef Boyardee of choice. Is it beefaroni?
No, it was spaghetti and meatballs.
Nice.
Yeah, those. That's all right, but I definitely do prefer the beefaroni. Like, I actually still eat that
I love
stuff
them all.
sometimes.
Trust me.
Is
But the one
beefaroni? I've never
specifically I was
had beef.
craving.
I've had the spaghetti and meatballs and the little O's, but like, is beefaroni like just elbows and meat? Is that basically what
Elbows
that is?
and meat. Yeah,
Yeah.
essentially.
Okay, yeah,
It's
I
not
had
bad.
the O's and the spaghetti and meatballs growing up. I'm not the biggest fan of Chef Boyardee, but
I haven't literally haven't ate it since maybe college. It's been years since I had Chef Boyardee, so the fact that I randomly craved it, it was very weird.
It's funny that
kind of
It's
weird.
funny that you mentioned that because every time I will go to like a grocery store and I have like a couple of cans of Chef Boyardee, like especially if it's on sale and I pick it up, I just look at the cashier and I'm just like, it's college diet. I'm in my 30s, haven't been in college in like 10 years, but college diet.
Yeah, it was when they go on sale, they're totally worth it.
Do you have the case
That's what
of
I did
beer?
for college.
Do you have the case of beer, Zenith, when you're buying the Chef Boyardee to like validate that? Because then she'll know you're bullshitting. She's like, he's
No,
lying.
because we don't sell beer here in grocery stores.
Wait, really?
Yeah. For when we buy alcohol, we have to go to a specific store, either called the beer store or the LCBO. If we go to like a gas station or any kind of grocery store, you will not find alcohol there.
Interesting. So, like, are these two places you can go? Are they like government run?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Huh.
Okay, interesting. There's
It's
some
like that in
state-
Pennsylvania, or
Yeah.
was like that in Pennsylvania, for example. We had to buy liquor at a specific liquor store, which they were only allowed to be open till a certain time, and weren't allowed to sell any beer or anything like that in the
Yeah,
stores.
like
They
dry
recently
counties.
changed that. Yeah, recently changed that.
Yeah,
but
I think Utah was like that too. Like Utah had like dry counties or whatever, and you had to go like across the border to go get, alcohol. I was like, that's wild. Here, there's not much. Like there's not really any restrictions except alcohol cutoffs 2 a.m. in the morning, and
Right.
then places like a 7-Eleven and stuff. Like you can't go to a 7-Eleven and get hard liquor, but you can get beer.
right, yeah, maybe it's like based off like the alcohol volume is what I guess.
I think that's what
Yeah,
it is.
you can't even get beer here in grocery stores.
Wow.
Just
Makes
nothing.
sense.
The
mean-
UK is a different breed because you can buy alcohol in any store that sells things,
They
really.
vending machine it over there. Like
Hardware store.
It wouldn't surprise me if there was actually the hard liquor stuff. You have to go through a process before you can actually buy it. Though you have to there's tags on them, so if you do try and steal them, you get flagged. But yeah, you can literally just go into any supermarket, small store, corner shop, bargain booze is one that's called. Done.
Yeah.
How do they feel
was
about
very-
wine over there? Like, if they can't buy beer,
Oh.
Zenith, how do they do
No, they
wine?
can-
This wine.
Oh, we have like wine stores here.
Okay.
Ah,
Oh, okay. So, like, can you buy wine in like a grocery store or whatever, or no?
No. Like,
Okay.
the
So
only
everything's treated
thing-
the same.
The closest thing you can get to it is there's some grocery stores here where they'll have a place called the wine rack, and it's like right after the cashier. You go there and you can buy all these cheap bottle of wines. But like, can you buy a beer there or hard liquor? No,
Interesting.
they're not all that. That wine's not all that great anyway.
Yeah,
because
it's all
I-
like $5 bottles or below.
Or the
What is it?
boxes.
yeah,
The
Boxed
boxed
wine.
wine. Yeah, that's the college
the bo-
diet.
yeah,
thing.
boxed wine.
yeah. $10 box of Marlowe.
I'm not a big
Things
wine
we used to
person.
do at college to save money.
And then you put it in the fridge like it's the little dispenser.
And a little spigot. Yeah, just drink wine out of a glass. Not wine glass, a little cup.
Yeah. Now they have, what is it? The like you can get like your hydro flask and there's like little like insulated tumblers and stuff for the hiking wine drinker in you. But it's good to have you guys all back. We know what's going on with Leshki. She's been busy. And then Dill, Zenith, what have you been up to?
Yeah, just gaming, working, and sprucing up my hair. I don't know.
Yeah, he's got a haircut. If you're listening right now, Dill's got a nice haircut. He's a very proper looking gentleman. I think we need to get him a suit and a Rolex, and he can be James Bond.
Yeah, a Rolex, Jesus, that's like what, grand?
No, several more grand. But I mean, if you want,
Yeah.
we can get you a Folex. Like we'll get you a fake Rolex.
Rolex.
They got those all over. You know, we'll get one of
Yeah.
those, and then
Oh, look at my Rolex. Oh, it stopped working.
the battery died.
It's
They don't.
I was gonna say it's just pictures.
Yeah.
It's just a piece of like printed paper over the thing.
No, it's a drawer. I drew this on myself.
Actually, funny enough, if you can, if you have like one of like the Samsung watches, Apple, I don't think you can do this because it's square. But like if you have one of the Samsung watches which are round, you can actually make it look like whatever watch you
That's cool.
want. It looks
You were
like
so close to the camera.
yeah.
You went to the wrong camera.
I know I went to the wrong camera. I'm like this one.
There you go. That's it.
There
Yeah,
you
so
go.
I could like this literally looks like an Omega Speedmaster, but it's just like a JPEG face on it or whatever.
That's awesome.
But Zenith, what have you been up to?
A lot. Aside from usual being super busy, I'm currently resting my legs in a hammock underneath my desk, and it is so nice.
How did you mount the hammock under the desk? Like, did you just tack it?
So it comes with a couple of clamps that you put on. So I have a big desk, so
Big.
I actually had to like get I had to like stretch the cord of the hammock as long as much as I could, and then I just like you hang it from these little rack things that come with the clamps, and then like when it has like a little tiny thing, I'll actually have to send a picture, but I'll have
Yes,
to
please.
kind of like I'll Photoshop out my crotch so that you don't want to see that.
Yes, please.
That's for
Yes.
after
Make sure
podcast
to
pics.
Photoshop Morgan out as well.
No,
Dill, stop! You have to time you out?
Yes.
Bannerman chat.
Just mute
So
him?
it's-
I could mute him.
You could.
You could if you wanted to.
I think your audio is corrupted.
Yeah.
That's what a shame.
Don't delete your
Oh,
local
no.
recording, Dill, though. We're going to need that. But, like, yeah, you,
Burn it all now. Sorry. You gotta reset it.
damn OBS update. So, we did update the OBS here on my end, and we're okay so far. I was, like, reading, or Dill was like, yeah, there's some issues people are having, but, like, we're okay. But I
good.
noticed, too, Zenith, like, you took some time off. It looks like you have today off. You were that busy, huh?
I still streamed 5 days this week though. That's the problem.
Oh, you just shuffled the days around.
Yeah, because I had like a bit of an issue with last weekend where I got 12 hours notice that I had to go help my grandmother move,
Oh.
and when I got there, there was like twice as much work as they thought as there was. So
Oh, yeah, I know how that
Gosh.
goes. It's just one room.
yeah.
But it's like
was
everything. It's the
it was
one
an
room.
entire moving truck full of boxes.
Oh,
And I had to and I'm not talking about boxes like big boxes, like they were heavy, but there were something like 80 or 90 boxes. It was insane.
did she at
So
least
I had
feed
to
you?
Somebody else fed me.
Oh.
Do you like
Wow.
go see your grandma, and does she still like do the cute grandma thing and give you like $5?
No.
No? Oh,
No.
wow.
I
I can't.
no.
You know, my grandma used to just like, not to brag or gloat or whatever, but
I
like,
wish I had that.
yeah, like
I
every
wish I
time I
had
saw
that.
grandma be like all sweet about it, and she'd give me like 5. I think it was more like $10 because I was talking to my cousin about this. My cousin's like, "How much did you get when you were a kid from grandma?" And I was like, "I'd get $10." He got livid. He's like, "What the hell? I only got 5." And I'm like, "Well, I can't help that she liked me more."
Ouch.
Like, grandmas are gonna pick and choose, you know, and hell, I feel like as parents pick and choose. I'm sure my mom liked my brother better than me when I was younger, you know, like
Maybe that's why your grandma favored you more. You noticed that.
possible, like possible. I think part of it too is like this was my dad's mom, so my dad was the baby
Ah,
and I'm the baby's baby, you know, so
yep.
it
That adds to
it
it.
makes up, it adds up, right? The other one was the oldest, like he's the oldest in the chain. My dad's family was huge. He had 10 brothers and sisters, And yeah, Hispanics back in the day, they just
Yeah, I guess my mom is one of 7, so I get it.
yeah, that was a thing back then. That there was nothing on TV. Boom, make a kid.
Multiply.
Yeah, so like 10 brothers and sisters, and it's really really crazy because my brother is 30. He's 30. No, I'm 39. Never mind.
40?
He's 30. What would he be? 33. He'd be like he's 33, and he is the youngest of the first generation of cousins. So like he has second cousins that are his age.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because like our oldest cousin is like in their 60s now. But it's
Wow.
like so wild how that whole thing works. And like I'll be arguing with like the second cousin's mom. Don't yell at my mom that way. I'll be like, yo, we're equals. You're below the chain. Like we're talking as equals right now. This is okay. You're below it. But it's pretty interesting. So I'm glad all of you had productive couple weeks off. So
Yeah.
let's go ahead and let's talk about some video games. We got the good old doc here. So
Oh, my eyes.
what was that?
Watch what happens. Light, then they faint, and then die.
Oh, you look like Leshki's window earlier. It's
Yeah,
just like,
literally.
whomp.
This is why everything needs dark mode.
All right. Zenith's back on the Final Fantasy X. Are you almost done with it?
No, I haven't had much chance to play, but
feel you.
slowly crawling through there.
Slowly crawling through it. Are you just you're doing it like live on stream like you said last time, right? You're doing this like live on stream?
No.
Okay.
I'm just playing it in private for a couple people that haven't seen it yet.
You're doing the Discord streaming thing. How is the Discord streaming?
I do it all the time, actually. Like, I watch like Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. Recently rewatched Squid Game again. I think I've rewatched through like Stranger Things like 2 or 3 times in the last few months. I do it all the time.
I tried to
enjoy
watch the Lord of the Rings thing, and I just can't get on it. Like,
Same.
I don't know what it
I
is.
enjoy
Not for everyone.
I enjoy it, and that's okay. It's not for everyone.
Yeah,
but
no, it's beautiful. I will say that show is just beautiful. The way it's shot, the colors are very rich and lush, and it's like it's beautiful looking. But like, I just can't grasp the plot, which is interesting because I'm all in on the like House of Dragons, Game of Thrones prequel thing. I'm all in on that. Where they're starting to like, spoiler alert, they're starting to like get ready to go to war and all this kind of stuff, so it's getting tense. And the Doctor Who guys out there like holding severed heads and stuff, and I'm like, oh, it's about to go down.
That's why I don't
Damn,
watch
Doc's
that
got
show.
dark.
Are you eerie about like do you get squirmish around like gore and stuff?
I don't. So I watched Game of Thrones up until the last season
Yeah.
because it was just giving me way too much anxiety because if there was just way too much going on.
Yeah,
that
that's
show
true.
was just giving me too much anxiety. So I was like, I can't watch it anymore. So I just watched the synopsis at the end.
Okay. Like
Fair
the
enough.
10-minute like here's what happened season 1 recap.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I can't watch it live.
So Final Fantasy, Zenith, you were talking about like Final Fantasy X, and you were talking about how like you were playing it with just a few like people that hadn't seen it before, right?
Yeah.
So what's the consensus among the party that you're playing it with? Like, what are they thinking of it?
They are really, really liking it. Because it's a game that aged incredibly well. I mean, if you think about it, like voice acting back then was still relatively new when it comes to video games. So obviously, it's a bit rough. Voice animations was a bit rough, but taking it for what it is and trying to find the charm and just like living in the moment. Like it's incredibly well done story that like even the English voice acting doesn't quite do it justice. So far I'm still very early, but they're having a great time. I'm having a lot of fun, slowly going through with them. Just haven't had a lot of time this past like couple of weeks because I've been super busy. I think we've only gotten a chance to play maybe about 4 hours worth of the past 2 weeks.
I feel like the same boat. Like work has just like drained me beyond Like the and plus, for those that don't know, here in California, it was like 100 degrees, like 100 plus here, and running a computer and a PC and all that stuff, like in 100 plus weather, does not help like your apartment. It just turns your apartment into a sauna even more, and it's not healthy for your PC either, because obviously fans are in the computer, but it's only going to suck in hot air.
Yeah.
And it can only cool. So like I've been not running the PC except for super important things, and like I've been using like the PlayStation, or I've been playing like on a 3DS or whatever, just to kind of keep the apartment cool, and the energy bills, because they'll tell you the flex alert or whatever, like, yeah, we're gonna do it, but trust me, when you run stuff like and the demand for energy is high, the price will creep up. You know, they'll charge you a little bit more, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not about that, because this AC has been running like for the past week. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to take a loan out just to pay the electric bill.
Yeah, I got my AC blown today. It's because it's pretty hot and muggy in the apartment.
See, that's the same thing here. It's cool outside, but like the apartment was just like muggy and hot, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna run it for a little bit. Like, yeah, so I get it. You're busy, you know, work's been draining me, and then I've just not had the energy to do much anything really. And then like you try to spend time with like I try to spend time with my girlfriend. Like I'm sure Lesky tries to spend time with Tom, and you know, like you just try to do life stuff.
He'll spend time with himself.
Yeah.
Aw.
Me too, buddy.
Yeah. High five.
You two are friends. You can spend time with each other. Like you don't have to avoid each other.
Yeah, but we're busy.
Yeah.
Our schedules are quite, hectic. So you know.
Hey, Dill, is your off podcast name Big Dildo?
Guys,
asking for a friend.
He was getting back at me for what I said earlier, isn't he?
Guys.
All right, I'm gonna get a plane to Canada now, chat. We need to sort this out.
When Hannah and I were actually going through all the people like that would be fun on this podcast, and who one of the things was like, who's gonna put up with all of this? And trust me, guys, the list is very short of the ladies in this day and age that would put up with these type of things. You know, and like Lesh, bless her heart, puts up with it. Hannah does too, to an extent. Hannah will leave. Like Hannah will be like, "Yeah, I'm not." Or she'll come back.
Hannah wouldn't slap me.
Or Hannah will come back later and she'll be like, "Don't do that anymore." But like, that was an inside joke. Like that was pre-podcast starting inside joke, because I heard some of that recording and I'm like, "What the hell are these two talking about?" But. Yeah. So yeah, Final Fantasy X, relaxing, chilling. How's the Super Mario on crowd control? I'm sorry, crowd control.
So, the reason why I wanted to brought this up, because I was very excited to try something brand new. I've never seen anyone do this before, and pretty much everyone that got to see it and got to participate in it said I have never seen anyone do it. So, you know how crowd control works, right?
That's where the Twitch chat picks like events, or they trigger events with chat commands and stuff, right? Yeah.
A lot chat commands. You use channel points. If you're subbed, you get free points. Just by showing up, you get free points. But like, if you want more, you can actually exchange Twitch bits to add to cause certain effects. But what was different this time, so we were just playing Super Mario World, but I was like, all right, guys, you've seen me suffer. You've caused me many headache. But let's see what happens if you give this a try. So I had a system where I brought on people one at a time, and I said, all right, you have 5 lives. As soon as your 5 lives are up, then we swap to somebody else. So essentially, I use Parsec and allow them to connect to my game, and but while they're playing, chat could use crowd control against them.
Oh, that is awesome. Okay, so you basically
before my eyes, I saw many rivalries happen where certain people were purposely picking on each other. And like, I swear this one guy's like, oh, that's it. This guy's going up next. He spends like $20 on crowd control stuff.
Wow.
And and I think that person's turn was over within like 4 or 5 minutes. Then again, we couldn't go anywhere because like you would load into a level and you would just immediately fall through the ground. There's nothing you could do.
So when you get these randomizers, is there...
This wasn't a randomizer.
Okay, so
This
I
is
understand.
Super Mario World.
Right. Okay, so I get, but the Twitch chat can manipulate the game, right? So how does like this may be just a ignorant question or whatever, but like how does because I'd imagine there needs to be some kind of build of Super Mario World that accepts the crowd control stuff, right?
Ooh.
It runs it through Ubisoft, and
okay, so there is a
Ubisoft uses
component.
Yeah, so it uses like Lewis script to modify the game itself live.
Okay,
So-
all right. So there is a third-party component in there that alters the game. It's not like you just plug in the Super Nintendo and crowd control just works.
No,
That's- okay.
absolutely not.
So I was under the assumption that there's a Nintendo build of Super Mario World that accepts the crowd control stuff, but no, there's a component in there that
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, that makes more sense now. So you can
Yeah,
essentially like as long as it's what's the name of the component again that you were using?
It was Bizhawk, which is one of the Nintendo's that come with crowd control.
Okay, so there's a list of games I'm assuming that are compatible with this Bizhawk.
Yeah,
Like a whole list
yeah,
of games.
quite a
that-
few.
Yeah, okay. I'm guessing there's like what, Super Metroid and Super Mario World.
Yeah, I have a big list. It's got Mega Man. It's got Wind Waker's my favorite. And the reason for that being is one of the options is someone can send you like do like a moon jump where you just fly like 200 feet in the air.
Oh, I
or make
heard
like
about this.
giant ocean waves where you're just out there sailing and then you're caught in like a torrential sea storm. It's great.
That
I
is-
actually have made highlight videos of what happens. It's great.
That's awesome. I'm gonna mess with this crowd control stuff because like it's if you're listening here and you've never watched any one of our streams before, but Zenith, I can tell you Zenith's production value and the creativity he puts into his streams are definitely worth your time to check out because
Thank you.
he uses a lot of crowd integration. It's not your typical I'm gonna sit here and play this game. It's like Zenith uses a lot of crowd participation with this crowd controls and things like that, and it literally creates entertainment because Zenith is tortured 99% of the time.
I was gonna say, if you like to just cause a little bit of chaos in your life every now and then,
Oh yeah,
somebody
if you
who
are
does crowd
literally
control.
if you're having a bad day, like you're just miserable or whatever, and you really want to make someone else's day miserable, just go into like Zenith's stream and turn on like pay up the crowd control, and you can ruin Zenith's day. And
there's
just-
even crowd control for charity too. So if you ever do
Yes,
charity streaming,
yes.
you could use
Yeah, you can do it for charity as well.
Tiltify.
yeah, Zenith's very big on charity. You went to St. Jude one year, right?
Yeah, they they were supposed to like invite me to come to the St. Jude Hospital every year, but haven't done it in the last 3
Right,
years
for the
because
obvious reasons.
COVID.
gestures at
COVID.
World.
Yeah,
Gestures at world.
yeah, for the obvious stuff going
Stop
on.
burning, mod.
Yeah, but I never got
Hopefully
to
it comes
go.
back.
That was kind of heartbreaking. I never got to go.
Yeah.
Were you invited and then the year was the cutoff, or
No, I never got an invite.
never got invited?
I never
Same.
got invited. I think, like Xena said, the powers that be, the gesture that organized all that kind of stuff. I just didn't. I don't think I was on their list of people that they liked associating with, and I'm like, that's okay.
It is one hell of an experience, though.
No, I would imagine. But it always like got me. It always got me intrigued to do charity for other stuff. I thought about like when I was doing the stream pretty heavily, I thought about doing like looking for programs like music education, like for high schools and stuff like that,
Oh,
and try to raise
yeah.
money for some of that. Because like that's one of those things. For those that don't know, like I'm a big music person. I love music. I play guitar myself and all of that, and I was really interested in. Music education is one of those big things. I'm a big purveyor of. I think kids should be music educated in arts, music, painting, all those kind of things. Some way to get out creativity and not necessarily just, learn things that you need to survive in life. I feel like it's important for children to get creative. So yeah, music education is always one of those big causes that I was a part of. I did a lot of volunteer work when I was younger in my 20s. I did a lot of volunteer work for the Fender Museum of Music and Arts, which basically gave out free music lessons to kids in the community.
That's
and they
awesome.
would hold like events, and I would do like demonstrations and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm a big fan of music education. But yes, Zenith's charity streams are fantastic. He will torture himself with beans. He'll eat hot Doritos or whatever the hell those things are.
Oh god.
Yep, this stuff right here.
Oh god, now they have
Yeah.
hot bean boozled.
Oh, they are.
Oh,
Yep.
it's
Yeah,
awful.
they do.
I have about, I think the one stream, I had like 7 of them, and like half of them were Carolina Reaper.
Oh,
So
Do they have
gross. 'Cause
weird,
it's like pure
disgusting-
extract.
Do they have disgusting ones like hot vomit? Like it's the vomit one, but it's just hot.
No, this
No.
is spicy, I think.
I'm
These are
so
just
glad
spicy.
they didn't do that because
Oh.
every single year, St. Jude sends me a package, and it always has like the bean boozled that is that has all the gross
nasties?
ones. No, I don't want to eat dog shit for charity. I'm sorry, but
Fair enough.
Sorry,
Yeah,
St.
Ciroc-
Jude, I'm not eating shit.
So the flavors here are sriracha, jalapeno, which kind of tastes like green pepper rubbed in spice and way too much sugar. It's actually like it's more gross than enjoyable. We
can't
have
do
cayenne, habanero, and Carolina Reaper. Where I have a specific button that I press where it makes it look like I'm the it's fine dog.
Yeah. So they just use like hot one, like they just pick different peppers and make beans and bulls out. Okay, that's way better. I thought
No.
you were getting disgusting things like hot vomit and like
No,
you know
there's no way.
spicy
Uh,
spoiled milk.
Because the
That's
stream goes
disgusting.
offline if I have the urge to vomit.
Yeah.
Because like I tried it the one year and I'm just like, I just had spoiled milk. I need to go now. Bye guys. Sorry.
Which one?
Yeah, not everybody has a stomach for those.
I don't know
I'm
which
able to,
one it
well, not anymore, but
did it. I think the vomit one did it for me. Like I got the vomit one, and like I'm one of those ones. Full disclosure, where like if I see someone do it, like I'm triggered and I'm like, oh god. But like I ate the vomit one and I was done. I was like, nope, that's it. I have yet to
the end
eat
of your
a bean.
day.
I have not eaten a bean boozled since I retired those things.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
Oh,
I did a thing where I ate a handful of them.
I did
Like-
that too. I did that one year
Yeah.
where I just
That I will never do again.
Oh.
It's an experience. Let's put it like that.
you get
There's
one,
no
like
way.
you taste one, and then that
Yeah.
one passes, and the next thing you know, he's like,
One
oh,
side
I
has
got
the nice ones, one side has the bad ones, and it's a combination of
Oh,
flavors.
I've got lawn clippings. Oh, now I've got rotten egg. It's like
I
a
know.
real
Two's my
blueberry.
limit.
yeah.
Two's my limit.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Never again. Someone
Like, I'm
chat was like, oh yeah, I tried to get him to eat them, but he won't do. Yep, nope.
No, you
I'm
shouldn't
the kind
have
of
to.
person where I'm the kind of person where like if my milk or anything in my fridge is starting to go bad but like not quite, I throw it out because I'm super paranoid about eating like either in kind of like mold or
Right.
anything like that.
Or like just spoiled like yogurt or something, like just something where you eat it and
Yeah.
you're like, oh yeah, no.
leftovers after 2 days, get the fuck out of my fridge.
Okay. Enough bean boozles for today. I still have a
No.
box sitting somewhere. Okay,
I've got a
Dill.
few.
Dill's
Ooh,
got
ow.
the Dill, you finished the Pokemon Platinum randomizer.
Yeah, I did.
How do you feel? Do you feel accomplished? Excuse me.
Yeah, it was. I had actually grinded for like the last battles and stuff, and I was expecting to hit a lot of roadblocks, but the league randomized Pokemon that are either bad or okay for most of them. The only two trainers that I've had in the league that I actually had a problem with were the last two, and that was it. And even then, I was able to handle it pretty well and didn't lose a single Pokemon in my team for like that. But yeah, it was an interesting experience. It was definitely the toughest Nuzlocke randomizer I've done so far. I lost 13 Pokemon in total throughout the entire journey, whereas like with other ones, I've lost maybe like 2 or 3. This one I lost about 13, so
How many shinies did you get?
none.
None? You went through that whole game
None.
and not one shiny?
No one shiny. It randomized and everything, no one shiny. You know, but
Disappointing. They probably don't
I-
actually have them in there. They probably don't
Oh,
have
well-
shinies.
they do. They do. You just gotta
Just a low
believe.
percentage.
You just gotta
believe.
believe. You gotta
Just pray.
believe. That's all you gotta do. You gotta praise to Arceus and believe.
I was just doing a Pokemon Randomizer Nuzlocke as well, Dill.
Yeah.
Like, I got all the way to the Elite Four. I'm doing Gold, and
Nice.
I lost my entire starting Pokemon to the Elite Four. But then I came back, and I actually scraped by.
Which one was it from the Elite Four?
I essentially it came down to I almost killed like the champion's last Pokemon, and I was down to my last Pokemon, my Blastoise named Squirtle.
Oh,
And I lost right there because he used full restore. I'm like, almost had it.
yeah. Full Restore, like with Lance, he loves using them. He had like 4 of them on the last
Thankfully,
battle. It's insane.
Thankfully, get to continue my challenge because there's another 8 badges you have to get once you beat the Elite Four.
Yep, Kanto.
Jeez.
And then there's the true final fight of the game. Yeah. Yeah.
I have
Johto's incense.
I have yet to get into Pokemon. I'm sure Dill will talk about this in a little bit, but like I'm still not. I don't know yet. I'm not on the Pokemon train yet.
It's fair enough.
Nothing has gotten me to be like, yo, I gotta go to what is it now? Best Buy. I gotta go to Best Buy and buy this Pokemon game now. And nothing's gotten there yet. I'm interested to hear about this though. So the Plague Tale Innocence. This is one of those. Is this the one that they gave out for free?
It's on the Xbox Game Pass until the 15th. It's leaving on the 15th. This month I decided to like branch out and play nothing but Xbox Game Pass games this month. Basically, and Plague Tale Innocence came out about over 2 years ago, and it's been something that I've been meaning to play since then. And I've finally got to play it, and I beat it within this week. In fact,
So-
it took me about 11 hours in total.
Okay, so this is a survival game.
Yeah, it's a survival stealth game.
Oh,
Basically. Yeah.
Is it like Last of Us? Is it Last of Us vibes or?
Well, there is some combat as well, so it has a Last of Us vibe, but the combat is different. You don't have obviously guns and stuff like that. What you have instead is a sling. You know, like a sling that can throw rocks.
What is the era for? Because I can't tell like what era this is. This medieval times?
It's based on fictional 14th century in France.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
By heights of the bubonic plague, basically, which is which is what it's kind of based on. It's based on like a virus that has infected the rats. Not dubbed to the bubonic plague, obviously, because it's a little bit different, but it makes the rats kind of devour anything they can get their hands on, and obviously infect people, and they die eventually, and everything like that. And you go through the entire like whole of the French area with like some areas which have like dead animals from the infection, from the slaughter. You go through an entire section of a town, basically, which is taken over by what the enemies, which is called the Inquisition, who are basically like trying to eradicate the virus and eradicate anyone who's infected, basically. So you can go through like an entire town of infected dead bodies, basically, just lying around everywhere and stuff. And
Okay, I'm intrigued.
it's a good game. The story is based around obviously 2 siblings, a brother and a sister. The sister is trying to figure out what's wrong with their brother. The brother has an illness, which they call a curse or a gift or whatever, called the macula. And it's basically they go through this entire journey through like different areas, different places, until eventually you come down like face to face with the Inquisition in the end. It's a really good one, honestly. Not a long game, but like definitely a worthwhile play.
I forgot how I know I got this from Free Store. It probably was like one of those
Epic Store.
Maybe that
Could
was
have been.
it.
Epic Store,
Yeah.
probably.
Okay, yeah, I know I got it for free somewhere. Okay, looks interesting. What's the 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10? Okay,
It's
Not
a good
bad.
game.
interesting.
The
Oh, did you
sequel
play this
comes
too?
out soon.
Lesh, did you play this too?
No, I didn't. I was just commenting on
Oh,
it.
okay.
It's good, pretty good ratings considering.
Yeah.
The sequel for it comes out soon as well, next month, I think.
I like the vibe and it basically looks like a Last of Us in like medieval times
Yeah.
type of thing. What do they use for like
basically is.
health and like curing and stuff like that?
There wasn't really a health bar. Literally, if you got attacked, you died instantly.
Oh, it's one of
Yeah.
those.
One of those ones where, like, if you get eaten by the rats, you die. If you get found and cornered by the enemies, you die, basically. And they have different death animations for, like, each one, too. So, yeah.
And there's no way to, like, run? Like, you can't, like, Metal Gear it and run?
There's a little trick where if you get this item called, like, I don't know exactly what it's called. I call it the sleeping bomb. Where if an enemy comes at you and they try and attack you, you can hit them with the sleeping bomb and it puts them to sleep, basically, and they fall to the ground.
Okay.
You know, and then with the rats, you get this, like, ignifier, basically, where if they try and swarm you, you can, like, drop it straight on the floor and it disintegrate any rats that are, like, trying to attack you and eat you.
Interesting. Okay, if you are interested, anyone in the chat or listening right now, if you're interested, it is on Game Pass, according to Dill. I think you said it was out on the 15th.
It's on the Game Pass until the 15th of September. It only took me about 11 hours to play, so if you want to go ahead and play it and try it out, feel free to.
So Game Pass on the Game Pass until the 15th. If you do not have Game Pass, I'm looking at Steam right now. It looks like it is $8.
Yep.
Not a bad investment.
Not bad either.
$8 for 11 hours, 12 hours worth of gameplay isn't that bad.
Yeah.
So go ahead and check that out. A Plague Tale: Innocence. And then you were rounding out with some Elden Ring, it looks like. What are we doing on the Elden Ring? Are we...
So I'm still working on the Black Flame Bleed build that I'm working on right now. I have just passed 100 bosses defeated now in the game. And I just beat another main boss, so I'm at a new area now, but I've discovered that obviously with it being a new area, I'm woefully underleveled for the area. So I'm having to backtrack, and I'm having to take on other bosses before I can build up.
Did you, like, platinum or 100% this thing?
I've not platinumed it yet. I've still got to get 2 more endings before I can get the remaining trophies or the achievements, should I say, in the game. Because there are technically 6 endings to Elden Ring, but only 3 of them have achievements for them. But yeah, there's quite a few endings out. There's quite a few ways you can end Elden Ring, and my favorite ending is the Age of Stars ending. That to me is the best ending to me.
I got that ending as well.
Yeah,
interesting. I was doing it. I was playing some Elden Ring, and then I switched to other stuff because I did get a little burnt. Like I got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a break, and then we'll come back to it, and we'll go full bore.
It's why I'm only playing it once a week, just to make sure that I balance it out, really.
It is actually pretty interesting that while it's probably intentional, but most players won't see it, is like it is intended to, like, play for a little bit here and there and then walk away from it and come back and take it in spurts. So I learned that one too. That's what it's designed for. Take it in spurts. All right. Leshki is very, very excited to talk about, because there are 7 exclamation points after this.
Also, this game is on the Game Pass too, just to let you know.
This is on Game Pass right now too. Leshki, tell us about the Disney Dreamlight Valley.
It is the best game ever. I'm actually like, it's so much joy. I don't even know where to start. If you like Disney, obviously, but if you like the Animal Crossing type games, Stardew Valley type games, and this is really like a game you should absolutely pick up. It's brought so much joy to me, and there's so much to do considering it's just early access, and they're even putting in some updates during early access that I'm super excited about.
They were talking about this on the Disney Marvel thing, which we'll talk about in a few minutes here. But okay, so I've got some questions here.
Yes.
And I'm sure the 3 of us probably have some questions about this. So, okay. So I definitely get the vibe that it's Animal Crossing in the world of Disney.
Right.
So, but it's interesting is because what's the concept? Like, what's the premise? Because obviously in Animal Crossing, you are sent to an island and your job with Tom Nook is to build and populate this island. So, like, it's the same premise?
It's similar. It's very similar. It's, you are basically bringing back Dreamlight Valley to how it was. And in order to bring back, because there's like I don't want to like give too much away of the story itself, but there's Night Thorns, so a bunch of evil dark magic has taken over these areas, and it's your job to release this place from the dark magic, as well as bring in more villagers, and to build out the village the way you want. So that's very similar to how Animal Crossing is, but this is so much better than Animal
Really?
Crossing in my opinion.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So I've actually took some time to watch a few streams of people playing it. So
I
that
watched a
can get
couple of
bit-
vids too.
Yeah, I wanted to get a good sense of what Leshy's going to talk about. It's like, all right, Leshy's so on this. Let's see what this is all about. So it looks like you can move like any characters you can. You can move them anywhere and whatnot. So the question that I have is, how do you get characters, and are they completely random?
Quests. There's quests. They're not necessarily random. There's different realms that you can go visit, which essentially, based off of the hints that they give you of the type of realms, you'll know what character you're going to run into and what character you're going to try to bring into your village. And then, of course, there's other quests that you kind of unlock different areas, and then you'll get those characters there. So there's very specific quests that will give you very specific characters, and then they did already say that in the future they're going to add, DLC content and whatnot.
Are the quest what kind of are they? Like go for quests, like go collect this stuff to do this? Like Animal Crossing's quest, quote unquote, it was like, oh, go get me 15 fossils so we can build the museum. Is it that kind of stuff, or is it like some kind of action oriented type of quest, like you're
definitely not doing any sort of like action, that you're not like, there's no battle or anything like that.
No dungeon raids or any type of stuff like that? Okay.
You do have to gather stuff, maybe potentially craft some things here and there based off of that, but it is very easy. Like, that's why I say this is a very cozy game. It's not stressful at all, because so far, at least, the quests that I've run into are super easy, and it's just very relaxing type of game versus a stressful, like, oh god, I gotta do this.
You may have the answer. Nice. You may have the answer to this, you may not. But like the quest, is everyone kind of doing the same quest that would be on the what is this? The early access. Like, is everyone doing this, or is there like a whole is there like 50 different quests that are available and everyone's getting a different quest to do something, or is everyone kind of going like the same quest route? Like, is it populating the same stuff?
Right. So everybody essentially will always have the same quests, but the order in which you do them, completely up to the player. Okay.
All right. Is there certain things that you need to like unlock quests? Like, will you need to have done this thing in order for this quest to be accessible?
Yeah, there's some like cases where you kind of have to level up your friendship with the villagers to unlock more quests and things like that, or like you have to obviously unlock certain characters to do a quest that involves those characters, so things like that. But everything has been super easy.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can do things at your own pace.
Is there a Tom Nook equivalent?
That's why I was gonna ask.
Okay.
No. I mean, like you have you don't have to pay rent.
But you don't have to at Tom Nook either.
I wouldn't say, yeah, it's true. But like, I don't know how to explain it. There is the character that kind of you have to pay to upgrade stuff.
Oh.
They do have that.
Ah, okay. Okay.
So there is an evil genius behind
is that?
Yes.
Who's that guy? Who am I paying?
It?
Who do you think it might be? I'm just trying. If you know Disney, if you're not very familiar with Disney, you're not gonna know. But
this is a good one.
What's the name of that little guy? I can't remember his name.
Is he from Chip and Dale?
Jiminy Cricket?
No, it's not Jiminy Cricket.
No, damn it.
Well, it's a character that actually really loves money, which is actually ironic.
Please tell me it's Scrooge McDuck.
Yes.
Oh yes, I'm in. I'm gonna get like Scrooge McDuck.
Scrooge Nook.
I just want to live the life. Like, I can't do it in real life, obviously, but I just want to live the life where I can go to the rich guy and be like, "Screw you, I'm keeping this. I'm not doing anything more." Huh?
Because like, I think I saw that you can like swing your shovel. Can you hit people with a shovel?
No, you cannot hit people with the shovel.
That's a shame.
At least I haven't been able to. Maybe I haven't tried.
DLC adage, shovel it hit.
In Animal Crossing, I went to my my friend's village, and not only did I break all her rocks, didn't realize that they actually take some time to respawn. We're not going to talk about it. And then I took an axe and I beamed all of her villagers to see if I could piss them off.
To make them mad enough.
Oh my god.
Yes. During the pandemic, because remember, Animal Crossing was 2020, like the height of the pandemic. Like, me and Pal couldn't see each other because, we didn't know what was going on and, all that stuff. So, like, we resorted to Animal Crossing dates.
They don't have multiplayer for this yet.
I hit Pal with the shovel. I hit her with the... She hit me with the what's it
fishnet.
called? The
Or the
fishnet.
fishnet, the bug net or whatever.
Yeah, the
I caught
fishnet
you.
and the fishing rod or whatever. Like it was just chaos.
Yeah. No, you can't really do that here. But so, I mean, granted, I haven't tried because if you don't know me, I freaking love Disney, and I have noticed in this game that you could take being a villain. I haven't done it.
Oh, really?
I don't know if it.
the
I don't know
villain
if it affects your game. Like I personally, I have no idea if it affects your
You
game
have
because
me interested.
there's certain ways that you can respond to certain things that seem like a very villainy way to do things. I haven't chosen any of those, so I don't know if it really messes with your game or not.
Is it design? Does the game have like multiple save like slots where you can build
No.
them? Oh, okay. So like it's kind of like
It's
you
only
go
one.
and you go. All right, interesting. What's the economy component? Like, I mean, obviously, what's it called was bells. Like, what's the economy component in Disney Dreamlight? What do you collect?
Star coins
Okay.
and Dreamlight.
Ooh.
And then of course you have your star path. The star path is like their battle passes that you don't need to progress in the game. That is just stuff that you get that's cosmetics and furniture and stuff like that. So
Is there
they have
any
that.
microtransactions in the game?
yes, there will
Ah.
be. The microtransactions, however, they have indicated that so they have moonstones. Those are what you purchase eventually in the future. Those will strictly just be for the battle passes and for cosmetics only.
Okay.
They will not be paywalling.
Content,
game.
like actual playable content will not be paywalled.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
They will have DLCs. They did admit that they will have DLCs, but the DLCs are not going to break the main quest. So it's just extra content, not needed in order for like
Right.
because there's like obviously a main storyline. The DLC will never be part of the main storyline. It'll just be like supplemental stuff.
Is there? Because obviously they have to pay for this game in some way, shape, or form. Right now it's early access and it's what $30 I think on Steam is what I saw.
Yeah.
Is this going to be
It's
a
gonna
full
be free to
price
play.
thing? Okay.
No.
Okay, so it's free to play.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's a free to play game, I'm curious to see. I don't know if you've seen any of it yet, or if it's going to come once official release comes. But have you seen any kind of like advertisement type of stuff? Like, are they advertising Disney movies like in the store?
I haven't seen anything in there.
Really, I'm wondering how they're going to like fund this because, well, then again, it's Disney and people are going to pay a fortune to get some.
Honestly, the star paths. Because I saw, like, for example, this star path has like a bunch of stuff like clothing. I'm the type of person that loves furniture, clothing, and stuff within a game, and the stuff that they put on the star path has been
Is it like ears and Loungefly backpack type of
outfits.
stuff?
They do have some of that.
Yeah.
But then you also get these things. They call them motifs. The motifs you kind of unlock kind of little designs that you can actually make your own outfits and
Oh,
backpacks
wow.
and things like that. So these motifs are little design elements that you can add to your own custom stuff. So that's another intriguing.
I'm really, really intrigued, and I know Pal, my girlfriend's been intrigued into this too. Like she kind of wants to go, and we're waiting for at least I'm waiting for the actual to go live. Where I don't know if I want to pay $30 just to play it a little bit early. I'm not sure yet, but
I
then-
must say there's a lot of content though. I've already played maybe 8-9 hours, and I'm barely close to what
I'm just
everybody else is at.
I'll talk about this in a second, but like I'm just leery because I already got burned on $70. If you guys are looking at, if not here, but in the on the casters here, if you guys are looking at the sheet, you'll see why I feel like I got burned on $70. But yeah. So like I'm kind of it looks like Disney's all in on this thing. I hope it's not one of those things where, well, it's free to play. So I'm hoping it just doesn't one of those things that just builds up and fizzles out, or it builds up and turns into like a thing where it's just like, oh, here's more packs, buy more packs, and then there's no additional like progressive content. And I hope it just doesn't turn into a game where they just charge you for a bunch of like accessory packs and just keep that going. But
It doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
From at least, so I'm a Dreamlight creator, just a disclaimer, which doesn't mean like I'm paid by them or anything at all. But their community team, like within the actual Discord, has been so responsive to the point where I'm actually feeling like they're definitely going to do fantastic things with this game.
It's almost
Even, like-
yeah, it sounds like they want that Sims level of
Yes.
community and following.
Right.
Loyalty.
There's going to be free updates, then there's going to be DLC updates, but yeah, I'm so excited for this game. Super excited.
Disney Dreamlight Valley, $30 on all early access on Steam for sure. I don't know about Switch or anything like that yet.
Yes.
Okay, so it's $30 early access on all these platforms.
Yeah, and there is cloud saves because I personally play on Steam and Switch.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
and I can like wherever I left off, boom, I can go play on the Switch.
Is it Oh, I would imagine it's crossplay then. So like if I have friends on the Switch. Oh, here it is.
The only platform that will not do cross progression is PlayStation.
Okay.
Oh, PlayStation. Once again, you let me down.
Yeah, that's the only one you can't. That's why I always tell people, I'm like, yeah, don't get it on PlayStation and Switch because you're not gonna be able to use. I mean, if you could, if you wanted to, but you'd have two completely separate saves. You can't bring your.
That's
cross progression.
Okay. I'm gonna wait for the full on release and I'll jump in and I do have the creator thing. I didn't get a chance to do it yet, but where you can create your character and all that kind of stuff. But
the ADT, yep.
Yeah, so it looks interesting. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
We'll definitely do some more stuff with it. We'll talk about it some more as it progresses and gets bigger. On my end of things, I have finished A Link Between Worlds. So I sat there, eyes to 3DS, and I saw this thing through. What a fantastic game. For a term of Zelda, it is not the best Zelda that I've played so far. But what I will say is the last battle is probably one of the best Zelda boss battles I've played in a long, long time. It has this weird, like Breath of the Wild is its own beast. In terms of darkness and like how the mood of the game, it has its own flavor versus when you play A Link Between Worlds, and it's obviously it's like a remake / sequel to A Link to the Past, which is the old school Super Nintendo Zelda. But when I play this and I get to this last boss battle, I have that vintage vibe of like classic adventure game, like hero's gonna save the day type of thing. The music gets uplifting, the boss battle music is uplifting, and you get no real spoiler. Well, I don't want to real spoilers, but you get access to things to help you beat this last boss in the middle of the battle. And it gives you like this whole sense of like, oh, okay, let's get fired up and let's finish this type of thing. But the music, everything, the concept of how you do it, the merging between walls to parallel through the worlds and to solve the puzzles in the environment, being able to like sync with the wall and move along the walls, created a whole different element to a Zelda that I hadn't had before. But this like I'm so psyched on this boss battle because it was that perfect vintage nostalgia of like being a kid in front of a Super Nintendo and just getting that vibe like you're gonna be the hero, you're gonna save the day, just see it through. So much fun.
Yeah. That is a great. That was definitely like a great title. Did you ever play the Link's Awakening HD remake?
I did. That was Link's Awakening is actually in my top 3 of Zeldas.
It's so good. I mean, like the end gets me every time.
It's so weird. Link's Awakening is just so weird because it was made at a time when Zelda. I think Link's Awakening is the 3rd Zelda game ever released.
Fourth.
Okay, because I don't remember if it came before or after A Link to the Past, but
definitely before Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, definitely before Ocarina of Time. I think it's either before or after A Link to the Past. So it's either 3rd or 4th in the actual release, like Zelda releases. So it's very, very early. And they were at the point where like Zelda's getting popularity, and they started doing all this weird stuff to like they were basically throwing stuff against the wall to see what would stick. So even because I know Leshki hasn't played very many Zeldas, but
well,
let's put it this way.
On Game Boy.
Yeah, so like let's put it like Zelda.
It kind of makes sense.
Oh,
it kind of makes sense like why they do it though, because if you should I say exactly why? And let's be honest, this is a game that came out like in 1994. Link's dreaming, so they can do whatever the heck they want.
It's a dream game.
It's like, hey, let's put Goombas and piranha plants in there.
That's what I was getting by weird.
And Kirby.
Yeah, there's Kirby in a Zelda game. There's Goombas. There's the Chomp. The Chomp. I don't remember if
chain jump.
I don't remember if there was a Thwomp in it or not. Thwomp's the big brick in Mario that would come down and like stomp on you.
I didn't remember a Thwomp.
Actually, there is.
Okay, there is a Thwomp. I didn't remember. Look at the doggy. There's a doggy in the corner.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. No apologies needed. He's part of the family too. Look at the dog. cute. But like, yeah, so there's Goombas and stuff in a Zelda game of all places. And then they did that weird mix because they had it in Zelda 2 on the Nintendo where it was side scrolling. So like there's side scroll elements where you jump and hop like Mario. And it's such a weird Zelda game, but it's so good in terms of just the fact that it's so weird. At least in my personal, there's people that will live, swear, and die by Ocarina of Time. Like that is the holy grail of Zelda. I don't think it is anymore.
I mean, I think people think Ocarina of Time is the holy grail because it is the thing that literally split the timelines. I think that's why a lot of people consider it the holy grail of all like
there
Zelda
is
games.
Also the nostalgia factor of it too, because it was
That
N64 and it's the first time you're seeing it in 3D.
It didn't just like inspire like a whole new series and just like Zelda games. It inspired a whole new genre
of
in
gaming.
video games in general, because like Dark Souls, like that series brings like inspiration from Zelda.
It even has
So,
like it's the first time too I think I felt like something cinematic in a video game when you turn on Ocarina of Time and they're playing that serene music and you just see Link like on Epona the horse just running across the field. It's cinematic, and this is like a video game in 96. It's just a very cinematic feeling thing. So like I can see why some consider it such a masterpiece, and it is rightfully so. It is a well done masterpiece of a game. I think Breath of the Wild passes it in terms of just epicness, but that's my personal opinion, I think. But A Link Between Worlds is so fantastic. Go get it. Get it now while you can on the 3DS. I think you could still buy stuff on the 3DS store. If not, hunt down. There's still copies out there that you can pick up used at an affordable price, because it was a mass-produced game. It's on like Greatest Hits Collection or something like that. Like it was one of those Nintendo Select. So like it's accessible. It shouldn't be too expensive, but definitely jump onto that. So anyone want to hear how I feel like I got $70 burned from me?
Last of Us Part 1 remake.
The Last of Us. Thank you, Dill. The Last of Us Part 1. So for those that don't know, The Last of Us is the what did we just say? Dystopian apocalyptic game by Naughty Dog, considered
fungus that basically destroys humanity and the system and everything.
Right.
So let me guess, Eric, were you this dopian?
I felt like a dope. I felt like a dope. So is my girlfriend here right now?
Okay, in the chat.
Okay, now she's probably lingering around, but I'm sure she's probably doing her thing. Okay, good. So she's not going to want to hear how I wasted $70.
Oh no!
But she actually,
I'll tell her later.
She really doesn't care. She's like, it's your money, dude. Like, I'm not worried about it. But so The Last of Us Part 1. Okay, so this is Naughty Dog's post-apocalyptic, adventure, like stealth adventure game. As Dill said, a fungus takes over the world, and your job is to carry a companion across the country. It is considered by many to be one of the best games ever made. I would agree with that. It is actually one of the best video games ever made in terms of story and
definitely within the last decade, especially
character development, everything along those lines. It is definitely deserving of the praise it gets. I will put it that way. So let's talk about The Last of Us Part 1 remake. So this is a remake on the PS5. This is supposed to be a full overhaul of the game in terms of graphical quality, detail. There's even physics updates, components, and stuff like that to the game. It is supposed to be the definitive way to play The Last of Us. It is supposed to be, it kind of fits in line with The Last of Us Part 2, which was on the PS4. So now you have more of a cohesive thing in terms of looks and graphical fidelity and sound, etc. Where do I go with this? So, the big elephant in the room. It's been released twice already before this. It was on the PlayStation 3. It was a late PlayStation 3, early PS4 timeline release. So it was one of the last games on the PS3. And then it was remastered for PlayStation 4. And now it is on the PlayStation 5, and it's coming with a full $70 price tag. Okay, so I think the reason I feel like I got burned is because I've played this game 3 times already. I played it on PlayStation 3. I played the remaster twice. The reason I purchased it is because, one, this is one of those games I simp for where I will play it no matter how many times it comes. I tend to play it every
Pokemon
year.
for me.
Yeah, I tend to play it every year at some point. That's how much I love this game. So I was all in. I'm like, okay, it's $70. That's steep, but I'm hoping for some kind of, justification for the price tag. So let's get to the details of it here. The nitty-gritty of it is the game looks beautiful. It looks great. It is graphically updated. They've updated the shading. Things like the shadows behind walls and stuff blend much better now. It's not a hard cutoff where it's dark around the corner and then it's light on the other side of the corner. Like, it blends now. It's cohesive. Everything looks beautiful. The structure, the facial structure of Joel's face, there's more wrinkles. From what I can tell, it might be just me being crazy or trying to justify the price tag, but he looks thinner. As you progress through the game, he looks thinner and more frail. Which what would happen? You're not eating, and food is scarce and things like that. So it graphically, it looks great. Ellie's face has been improved a lot. You can see things like her eye, the bags under the eyes. You can see the bags under the eyes of these characters a lot better. You can see the stress. You can see the stuff they're going through. The back details, like the clothing, the backpacks. It's tattered. It looks filthy. It looks very, very updated, and it looks very beautiful. Sound-wise, it's not much change there. Sound-wise, sounds a little bit better. Shotguns have more pump to them and more boom and oomph, and it's more, epic sounding. Yeah, more bass. A lot, some updates there. Gameplay-wise, the AI, I think, of the clickers and things have been improved, because I remember before, if you died on a route, I'm doing the Survivor playthrough where there's minimal supplies and stuff like that, and it's a lot more sneaking around. You're more stealth because bullets are limited, stuff to make shivs are more limited, etc. So there's a lot more stealth. I'm noticing that, like, if I died, you used to be able to go back and the clicker would take the same route. And eventually, if you did it enough times, you would figure out the route the clicker took, and then you would figure out the stealth path. I don't think that happens now, because I've noticed I've died more playing it this time around because the clickers tend to take different routes.
Wow.
And they come and they'll like stall and they'll look around and you think you have time to get in, but then the clicker moves. So I feel like stuff like that has been improved. There's other little improvements of the game. The crafting of your weapons and stuff. They did. I don't know if everyone here played The Last of Us Part 2 or not, but if you look at Part 2, remember when you would go to upgrade your weapon and it would play like a little cinematic of him putting the gun on the table,
Literally taking the gun apart. And then,
taking it apart, burrowing out the barrel and stuff like that. They've added that stuff to the Part 1.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that looks very, very cool. Combat seems to be improved, but I haven't played it enough yet completely to tell. I was able to smash them in the head with bricks and stuff like that. Nice. One of the cool things I did do, and I don't remember if I did this in the original playthroughs or not, is you can actually run and smash them with the brick. Cool. So that thing made more. So if you're really if you get caught and the thing's chasing you, you can literally just say screw it, run and go for it and just smash them with the brick, as opposed to sneaking and stuff like that.
Exactly why I didn't do good in that game.
Yeah, the buttons look different. I don't know if you remember, but there's things like the HUD for the bow and arrow has been changed to what was in Part 2. Part 2 is more of lines and targeting, whereas 1 was a green line path that would tell you where the arrow would land. They've cleaned that up. It looks sleeker. The button presses, if the clicker grabs you and it says tap X, before it used to be the green PlayStation X button. Now they've cleaned that up and it looks more cohesive with the second game. The online play has been stripped. There is no more online in this. You do get the Left Behind DLC pack that was originally released in this, but a lot of the extra content that was in the remaster has been stripped from this version. The trophy list has also been shrank down. Before, there used to be a skill-based trophy, beat the game on Survivor, and you get all those level they took that away. There's no skill-based trophy anymore.
Kind of similar to the second game there. They did that in the second game.
Yeah, they didn't do that in the second game either. So all in all, it's a $70. I feel like it's a $70 burn. I guess my consensus is if you have played it before on a PlayStation 3, or if you were one of those fortunate ones to get a PS5 and get a hold of the PS Plus like collection that they gave you with the PS5, you can play it there and you could be satisfied. It definitely, if you have never played it before and you don't have a PS Plus collection or any of those reasons, or you want to play the definitive version of the game having never played it before, this is where your $70 will be well spent. If you've never touched it, your $70 can pay for it now and be very, very satisfied, because it really is a beautiful version of the game.
Just probably not the price you want to play for someone that's played it many times.
No, yeah. If you're in my boat and played it 3-4 times, yeah, your money's not. Yeah, it's not justified here.
This is
Wait
why
for a sale.
I'm waiting for a sale. Either I'm waiting for a sale, or I'm waiting for it to come out on PC, because PC might have even better graphics.
Or wait until you're financially capable of just wiping your ass with your own money.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a nice way to put it. You know,
thank you.
True story.
It's as I said a few weeks. I think it's a few weeks, didn't I? I don't think it's worth the $70 at the price tag that they put on it, because it's a 9-year-old game that's been made to look better and improve slightly, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would understand if it was like a new title, but for somebody who's played it multiple times, I feel like you didn't get your money's worth.
So what I think what I'm disappointed about is because I thought there were going to be components of the second game built into this remake. For example, in the second game, you can crawl.
Yeah.
And you can crawl under things and stuff like that. You cannot do that. They did not put that component in the part 1. So you cannot, because the ability to crawl and stuff changes the way you can play the levels.
You could sneak a little better, right?
Yeah, that adds a whole
100%.
new component to how you play the game. So I'm like, okay, that would be cool. I'm in. But they didn't do any of that.
Were they at least transparent? Like when they mentioned what you're getting, were they transparent in any way about what they were adding from 2?
I don't think so.
I think they just announced it and said, there you go, that's it. They did say, I think they mentioned that there won't be multiplayer in the game because it was like a thing in the previous ones, and that's about it. And then Neil said that they're working on a separate multiplayer game for set in the Last of Us world. So I think
that makes sense when they're just having it for like a separate.
That
game
explains the stripping of it from the part. Okay.
Yeah. So I think
isn't that free to play anyway?
Sorry.
Isn't that a multiplayer game free to play anyway?
I don't think they announced that yet, but I'm not sure.
They haven't announced when it's coming out or what it's called or anything, but Neil has confirmed that they are working on it. He unveiled concept art at the Summer Game Fest for the Factions multiplayer that they're working on, but apart from that,
it's definitely one of those things where it's like, okay, let's, like we've all kind of said here, don't shell out $70 for this. Just wait for a $30 sale. If you do want to pay $70 for it and you have a PC, wait for the PC port, because I'd imagine that'll probably look even more graphical. I will say graphically, though, it's amazing watching the story play out again, because I went through the intro again, and the intro, it still hits every time. The intro to this game still hits every time, and watching these cinematic scenes like revamped with new graphical and everything, it does hit even harder. It is beautiful. It looks beautiful. It looks great. If you're going to be one of those ones that jumps in, I think I've talked about this before. It's like we have that Last of Us TV show coming.
Yes.
People are going to watch this TV show that have never had any experience with the game before or even know it was a game. They're going to get this experience and they're going to be like, wow, this TV show, we're hoping, they'll get the experience like, oh, this TV show's great. I want to try this video game. Very much like how The Witcher took off and people went and played The Witcher. That's what I think they're going to hope for with this. Sony's hoping for. People watch the show. They're like, wow, this is great. Let's go play the game. This version that's available for people that have never played it before is the definitive way to play it. They will get the experience.
A good idea for them would be to put the game on sale when the show does come out, because that would probably immediately ramp up sales even more of the game.
That's next year, right? TV shows next year?
Next year.
That's what's going to happen. Show. It would be
I think they're going to
dumb to not do that.
It would, yeah.
There's going to be I'm willing to bet there's probably some Naughty Dog sale.
Yeah.
Where it will
they'll release a dual pack that's like $100.
Yeah, they'll do something.
Yeah, because even like $100 for like Last of Us Part 1 and 2 would actually be a decent deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they would have to update 2 also. Like 2 would have to get that same, which they can do because they just do a PS5
Easily.
patch. That was the Last of Us Part 2 was end of PS4 life, so they could patch that and update it and all that. Same what they did with Horizon. That's doable.
Yeah.
How's the furniture coming along, Lesh?
Almost. I mean, it's kind of almost done. Once he picks out,
She looks at her
those, it means
husband
he's almost
like,
done.
I think it's done.
I mean, it's coming along real well.
Where's
Oh,
Tom?
wow.
Tom, get Tom on the mic real quick.
Babe, come here. They want you on a mic real quick.
Tom, return to us.
Yeah, podcast member. Let's go.
Tom.
Hi.
Hi,
Nice
Tom.
one.
If you are listening in the listening world right now, this is Leshki's husband, Tom. Tom.
I am Leshki's husband, Tom. Hello.
Hey, we're
Hello.
wondering, is this a 1 beer job, a 2 beer job? What's the status on this furniture build?
There aren't enough beers.
There's not enough. Oh, so you went to IKEA?
Damn.
I don't even know
How's
where
the
she got
meatballs?
this. She said, I'm getting this thing. I said, okay. And it arrived today, and now I'm doing the thing.
That's right.
Okay.
That's
Do we have before and after pictures?
What?
Did you take any pictures before
No.
we started?
I took a picture of the box.
Ah.
He's gonna come back. He's gonna come back when it's done, and he's gonna have like the T-shirt wrapped around his head like a bandana, and like he's gonna like his
we can
clothes are gonna be
show-
ripped.
We can show an almost done picture and then a done picture, because at this point I'm getting close.
What are we building? A crib?
Okay.
No, not a crib. No. What is it called?
It's a crafting armoire.
A crafting armoire.
What? Sounds like a fancy
Not
crib.
for the baby. This is just to make
It's
room.
not a crib. No, no.
Oh.
It's to make room.
Has nothing
I
to do
see
with
what you're
babies.
doing.
Ask.
Has nothing to do with babies.
We're not gonna put our baby in there.
No.
They're
But
like
it's this big, intricate kind of many drawers and doors
It has a
and
pull-out
pull out
tab.
things.
we thought
and-
you were like, we don't need a changing table. Let's just get a crafting armoire and throw the baby on top.
I mean, theoretically, it would be able to support a baby.
We're not putting a child in there. We're
Not in,
Pull out
not
the drawer.
in, on.
A little bedding.
Like when you open it to change it.
No, that's disgusting.
So
not
we're
gonna
calling the
poop on
baby.
it.
We're calling the baby
Disgusting.
it because we don't have the gender of the baby yet, right?
Right.
Okay.
No gender yet.
No gender. Okay, so it's technically still
Good.
a baby, but that's funny. On that note,
Yeah.
we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take a break. Tom, thanks for hanging out with us for the split second. Let us
My
know how it
pleasure.
goes.
Will do.
We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take a break. You've been listening to Good Friends, Good Games. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to Good Friends, Good Games. We're all back from break here. If you're hanging out with us on chat, on Twitch, thank you. We appreciate you. If you're in the listening world, we appreciate you also sharing your time with us. So new stuff. We just had what do they call those things now? Showcase. We had the Disney Marvel Showcase yesterday. This is the first one Disney's ever done, at least from my recollection.
Yeah.
Did we watch it here, or did any of us not watch it?
I watched the majority of it because I only realized it was live when you posted about it in Discord.
I didn't
was
know
like,
about it
oh,
either.
shit.
Yeah, I didn't
I
know about
watched it all. I
You
knew.
watched it
I
all.
only knew
Watched it
about it because
all.
it's obviously Disney Dreamlight Valley was
it.
going to
Zenith's
have an
shaking his head.
announcement
Zenith's
there,
gonna
so-
have.
I was like going live and say, I see this stuff is happening. No, can't.
Well, I mean, you don't have to watch it there, but like, First off, what did you guys think of this whole? Because as far as I know, this was their first one they've ever done. One of these.
Yeah, it was. You can tell.
You can tell.
Yeah.
That was the thing where like everyone was so disappointed, but I'm just like, this is like Disney's, especially the D23 crew,
Yeah.
their first time dipping into video gaming, and like
If you do
Yeah.
not know what D23 is, D23 is like Disney's version. It's like
Yeah.
their own Comic-Con, basically, or their own
Yeah.
E3. I think would be a better assessment. It's
Which
like
I think they're currently showcasing the TV show stuff right now, I think, and the movies.
It's
as
like their
well,
own
so-
version of E3.
park stuff too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where
This
they
is where they announce all the park stuff.
Yeah.
right. They're not really relatable to video games, but I guess they're swapping out Splash Mountain for something, some movie tie-in or something.
Yeah, Tiana's
Oh.
Great Bayou, I think it is.
I don't know what Tiana's from, but
Princess and the Frog.
oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
Another thing completely off note, but we're on the topic of Disney. Pow and I watched the Pinocchio thing last night.
Oh, the live action one.
Oh, it's on my list.
I've heard not so good things.
I'll hold my reservations. So for those in the chat or the panel here who do not know, my favorite Disney character of all time is actually Jiminy Cricket.
Oh.
That is my...
Yeah.
I would have loved giving Jiminy Cricket some money in Disney Dreamlight Valley, but I'll take Scrooge McDuck. But Jiminy Cricket is my favorite Disney character. I have a little pop vinyl thing up there, and I actually have one of the old plushes from like the 80s. You know those expensive plushes that they sell at Disneyland and Disney Store and stuff like that? I actually have one from the 80s, and let me tell you, the quality of those things back then, for the price you were paying, way better. Now they're very like, they're not cheap, but they feel like they put less material and stuff into them. But I have a Jiminy Cricket one of those. The jacket's like velvet and all that stuff. Very, very well done. It was high quality. But yeah, that's my favorite Disney character. So what did you think of the host? Do you think he was a little too cheesy? Do you think he's a little...
I thought he did a good job.
I was going to say, we're talking Disney here. Disney's very cheesy.
Yeah.
So I think he did an exceptional job.
Right.
He rushed through a lot, but I feel like that's not his fault. I think that was just because
it's time.
That was probably what they wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was time. The thing was only 20 some odd minutes, 25 minutes.
Right.
It's more of a time thing. I think he's not a Jeff Keighley, but like he did okay. I think he could have toned it down just a hair, but overall I think he did okay. I would say bring him back for the next one, whenever they do it. He did okay. Let's look at a couple of the things that they showed off here. So obviously they showed off, we talked about earlier, the Disney Dreamlight Valley. We won't delve too much into that, but they showcased some of that more. They did announce like the character packs and stuff that are coming that Lesh had mentioned earlier once the game goes live, full release. The other thing I looked at here that was is a lot of mobile games, which I don't really have a lot of interest in, except for the Gargoyles remake.
The Gargoyles remastered, that one was like, oh, okay.
90s era. Did you ever watch Gargoyles, Zenith?
Yeah. And I remember nothing about that show.
You never mind. Which one did you watch was it Gargoyle? Which one was your Disney show when you were a kid?
God. Mine was DuckTales.
Okay.
I remember Darkwing Duck.
I love it.
Vaguely remember Chip and Dale. So a lot of stuff like around that.
Mine was what was that one? Goof Troop. I like Goof Troop a lot when I was a kid.
I remember a Goof Troop.
Yeah, Darkwing Duck was badass. So I was like, okay, and then DuckTales is pretty cool. But yeah, I was totally into Darkwing Duck and Goof Troop. Oh, and the one with the bear from the Jungle Book, and he had the plane.
Oh, Tailspin?
Tailspin, yeah, that's the one. That was a fun one too. Yeah, that was a fun one.
I was so young at that point that I hardly remember anything from that show.
You're a couple years behind me, and I vaguely remember it. We had one of those old TVs where you had to it was in a wood cabinet.
That was more into Cartoon Network, honestly.
Because you had to pay premium for Disney back in the day.
Yeah. And I think that's what it was, because my mom couldn't afford it, but my grandparents had like a full-on box where I could watch Cartoon Network shows. That's how I got my stuff.
They don't have remember when I know all of us kind of come from this area. Remember when you were like a kid and you got home from school and there would be like the cartoons at like 3:00 in the afternoon?
Oh yeah. I was all Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon because it's all my parents would never pay for the Disney. As much as I wanted it, they never paid for Disney.
Well, this wasn't Disney. Well, at least in my time, it wasn't Disney Channel. It was on like a major network, like a Channel 9 or 7 or something like that. I would imagine it was 7 because I think Disney owns ABC. So
I think the channel in the UK was called Boomerang. Which had a lot of Disney stuff on. It doesn't exist anymore.
But like when I was a kid, you'd get home from school and there would just be an afternoon of... They also had Fox. Like Fox also did. They had like the Batman animated series and all that kind of stuff like in the afternoon. You don't see that anymore.
Yeah, we didn't have those channels unless we went with like Buffalo TV. We actually had two different cartoon channels. One was YTV. And another one was Teletoon, which Teletoon focused more on. YTV had more Nickelodeon stuff, and Teletoon had like all this like random stuff. But it did have the original Donkey Kong show.
That's
Yeah.
Does
cool.
anyone remember that?
Saturday
That's
morning
interesting.
cartoons that are a thing of Pat. Like you don't have.
Oh, I
Saturday...
do remember that. They don't
There
do
was
that
a
anymore.
Donkey Kong show.
No, I don't remember Donkey. I remember the Mario
I feel like
one.
I feel like
Oh, yeah,
now
I
they just
remember Mario.
want you to stick your kids onto like your subscription stuff.
Yeah, and it's just
call it a
so
day.
it's so weird nowadays. Speaking of Nickelodeon, I read the Jeanette McCurdy memoir. If you don't know who Jeanette McCurdy is, she
Yep.
played on iCarly, and I cannot look at Nickelodeon ever the same way again.
That's fair.
No, don't.
I've
blame me.
never read that.
It just came out. It literally came out like a
Oh.
month ago. It's called "I'm Glad My Mom Died,"
Yeah.
which Leshki gave the exact reaction my mom did. Which is like, well, that's a crazy title, but like when you read the book and you find out like the stuff her mom did to her and like the emotional trauma her mother caused and stuff like that, like the title makes sense.
And you can understand why she went down the path that she went down.
Yeah, it's rough. And like I have a whole new outlook. I have a whole new outlook on like the Nickelodeon stuff and like that network and all the stuff that happened. And I have a whole different outlook on child actors now, because child actors have always had the stigma of like they go crazy and they, you know, get into drugs and all this kind of crazy wild stuff. And then you look at it and you're like, read her book and you're like, holy crap, I understand why people go through this stuff now.
Mm.
Like that's why like things like what happened with like to Macaulay Culkin, like that stuff. Like I remember back then, it's like, well, what happened to them? Like, did they just go insane? Did the fame go to their head? No, it's because of the stuff they had to live with.
Yeah,
and they had to probably they accepted like a lot of money just to stay silent about it.
yeah. And it's just
The Olsen twins.
The Olsen
Olsen
What they
twins.
also went through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's wild to me, like a whole thing. Like I'm like, I've become a lot more open-minded like when people get addicted to drugs and alcohol and all that kind of stuff, because now I'm kind of like, I understand why you're going through this. I understand why you're in this position in life. I can see how you got there, you know? So like I have a little more sympathy for this kind of stuff, but like it's just so, I can never look at that stuff again. I read that whole book in a couple of days and I was like, this is just nuts. This poor girl, and like she's still recovering from it. Like, and I've come to this conclusion, like child actors don't want to become child actors. They're not old enough to
make that decision.
They're not old enough to comprehend like becoming a child actor and they're not old enough to comprehend any of that. This is all like mostly parents doing.
Yeah, because they I want to exploit my child to make money.
Yeah.
They
And
want to
it's
live
sad.
vicariously through their child. They wanted to become
there's that
actors,
famous-
couldn't,
And
so
do
then
like
boom.
nothing, no effort for it except to drive them to wherever they need to go to make them money.
Yeah. It's a wild. Not to spoil too much about this book, and this is completely off topic, but it just, when the topic came up, it hit me. Not to spoil too much, but one of the experts in the book, she talks about how her mother wrote her an email and said all these horrible things. You've ruined this family, blah 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 blah. You brought back my cancer, etc. Like horrible stuff you would say to your daughter. But at the bottom of the letter, it says, "P.S. Our fridge broke. Please send money."
Yeah.
Huh.
Like, I don't know if that's exactly how it was worded. She kind of the way she's
probably-
a fantastic writer, by the way. She kind of wrote it to fit her humor, which I can say if you watched iCarly and you watched her character on iCarly, the humor is spot on similar. Like that's how she is. But it literally says like, she's like, P.S. please send money. Fridge broke. And like the audacity of, like Zenith said, like just cashing off your kid, you know?
It's ridiculous.
And then,
well, it's just like what Britney Spears too. Like, I know it's not like acting, but kind of that's how she
same
started.
concept.
She started in acting.
Yeah, same concept. And then now they have that one girl that's on TikTok and her parents are being insane on social media, and like the mom's dating some TikTok like rapper that went to the VMAs or something.
That I don't even know about.
It's so
That's a
weird. This
strange
dude,
one.
I got this info from the girlfriend. Apparently this dude, this is Addison Rae. She's like this super famous TikToker.
Oh, her.
Oh.
Yeah, and her mom is dating some young 26-year-old rap dude that raps about MILFs.
Okay, then.
I'm like, wow.
He's living the dream.
But I was like,
All right,
whatever.
then.
But that's completely off topic. Okay, so back to the Disney Marvel Game Showcase.
Yes.
That was
All about? Yes. Okay.
that was a tangent. But yeah, so a lot of mobile stuff. The Gargoyles game looked cool, but I don't know if I'm gonna get on the Android
I-
store to play this
It
thing.
depends on how
I'm
much.
trying
it
not to
is.
play mobile games. There's only like one mobile game that I'll play, but even then, I'm just like, I don't want to use my phone for that
I've just quit mobile
same.
games honestly at this point.
Yeah. It's
because they're all about microtransactions.
These
Yeah.
days, yeah.
free to play microtransaction cash in. The
Ads.
Marvel Midnight Suns is interesting, but I still don't know what kind of game this is.
It's a card game.
Yeah, I was
It's
confused.
legit.
At first, I thought it was like
Yeah.
a fighting game, like
I-
you know,
It's a card
then
game. It's
a card game.
Yeah, it's literally they put so much effort into the trailers and the animation.
That's the
stuff,
problem
and
I
it's
have with it.
impressive, but down to the core of the game, it's a card game. That's it.
Well,
That's
okay,
all
I
it is.
will say this. Reading the synopsis here, like on Wikipedia, this sounds like it would be up Zenith's alley, because it literally says it's a upcoming tactical role-playing game. It'll feature comic book characters, properties, Midnight Suns, Avengers, etc. So it's like turn-based strategy, tactical role-playing. This almost sounds like it'd be up Zenith's alley from a game standpoint, but I don't know how Zenith feels about comic books and Marvel characters.
I mean, like, I watch all like the Marvel movies, and like I'm really into it. The only thing is, I could never really get into the games themselves. However, though, with that said, if there is one Marvel game I would actually play, and that would be Insomniac's
The
Spider-Man
Spider-Mans.
games.
Have you played Marvel Spider-Man yet?
Nope, because I'm a broke bitch.
You would love it. You would definitely love it.
Don't rub it in,
My
Dale.
wallet would too.
That means more people have to mess with you on crowd control.
Yes.
Hmm.
Just
I mean, it's on PC now as well.
I mean,
so-
you know what? Listening to how you talk, Zenith, and the things you say and all that kind of stuff, I don't think you're opposed to an OnlyFans for yourself. I think you would do it.
No, fuck that. I'm opening up Only Zens.
Only Zen?
Only Zens.
Yeah.
You go all in. I'm
Well, you-
collecting everything.
Who wouldn't
Yep.
pay money to see me punch myself in the nuts every month?
Oh my
I
gosh.
would. $10.
Where's my wallet?
See?
I'll give you the card number right now.
Here's your card.
I'll give you the card number right now. What's the PayPal? I'm in. That should be a Patreon.
Oh my god,
A
it should be a
Patreon. Oh my
Patreon.
god.
Watch me punch myself in the nuts for $5 a month.
There's probably a Patreon out there that is like that.
Patreon.
Honestly, probably. I'm not shocked by what I find on the internet anymore.
And then,
No,
okay,
same.
so what's the amount? What's Xena's price tag to see a kick in the nuts? What's the price tag there?
$20.
I was gonna say for his own health as well. I'd say 20.
Yeah.
You guys are two
We're
dinners.
brewing the gears in his head are moving.
1669.
Nice.
Ah,
That's a good deal. The gear. Look at Morgan's already like laughing. Morgan's already writing this up.
Morgan's is writing this down like ideas for the next
ideas
streams.
next.
Yeah, she's plotting how to be my hammock as I get punched in the nuts every day.
Yeah.
Is that what you're doing down there?
Gosh. Yeah, trying to punch her and just hit myself in the nuts.
Every 10 minutes, Xena's just like,
Oh shit.
It's like, oh shit, I missed.
and eventually he just falls over.
And that's how you stay awake, everyone.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it just falls over. So yeah, Midnight Suns attack. They showed some. Dill's right. They just keep showing trailers, and I can't see any
Yeah.
concept of how to
They're
play
not
this
showing
game.
gameplay. And I've seen gameplay and I know what it is. It's a card game. That's it.
They have a card game too on top of this though. Like it's a whole different.
A mobile
Marvel-
one.
Yeah, Marvel Snap.
Yeah, that if I'm bored, I might tweak
Yeah.
around with, But the other
not
one
big
that
on
was
card
cool.
games.
The other one was cool. I didn't write it here, but they showed some Tron like preview thing.
I'm intrigued
I
about
fucking
that.
love Tron.
That's what I'm wondering if I'm hoping that it does pay, homage to the original Tron game
I love Tron.
versus like just using the Tron name to
Yeah.
build something else. So I'm really, I want to wait to see more before I get excited about
Lesh,
that.
you'll get a kick out of this. One of my favorite
Yeah.
records I actually own is a Tron. What was the second movie Tron? Anyway, the second Tron movie they did where Daft Punk did the soundtrack.
Oh,
I have a
Nice.
10-inch record. It's 2 songs, but it looks like a Tron light ring,
oh, that's it.
and it glows in the dark. It was
All right, I need a picture. That's awesome.
I'll send you. I'll put it in the Discord when we're done here. It was a record store day exclusive when that movie came out.
Wow.
It's pretty expensive now. I paid like $15 for it when it came out. Now it's up in the 40s and 50s range, and I was like, I'm not
Just you
selling
wait
this.
till it's 1,000.
I'm like, I don't know if I sell this. I really do love it because I'll play it every now and then because it plays the Daft Punk song when they're in the bar, and I'm like, okay, this is rad ass.
Daft Punk's so good.
Oh yeah, so good. But yeah, fun fact. So I want to see the Tron game. They didn't show anything except this little teaser, and I want to play Tron.
Yeah, I'm really hoping it's,
Here's
sticks
another
to the
one.
original.
Lego Skywalker Galaxy Saga Edition. It includes 12 character packs. I love the Skywalker Lego Saga thing that they just released last year. Such a fun game.
I played that in June. That was fun. Nice
Change of pace. So you're going to get some content there if you're into it. I want the little Mandalorian pack with the baby Yoda floating around with you. Here's a one for the old timer. This is up Zenith Alley too. The Return to Monkey Island remake. It looks like.
I remember that in my day. Yeah.
Return to Monkey.
How do you feel about Monkey? Did you ever play Monkey Island?
A little bit. I was more King's Quest actually.
Okay. It's like text-based, graphical imagery, not full motion or anything. It's like just graphical, like picture text.
I think my stuff predates Monkey Island.
Really?
Yeah. Because when was the first Monkey Island game that came out? We actually find out.
Early 90s, late 80s, early 90s?
Monkey Island. It came out. The first release was 1990. King's Quest.
Yeah.
For the NES was something in 1986.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But that's
Sorry,
looks
85.
85, is that what it was?
Yeah,
Ooh.
I think 85 or 84.
So yeah, you're playing old school.
Yep.
Good stuff. But I'm intrigued by it. It's an old graphic, picture text. I'm intrigued. I kind of want to try it just for shits and giggles and see. They've done like 3D rendering of the photos or the images and stuff, modernized it. We'll see how that goes. That was that. What else did they see? Where's the sheet here?
Disney Speedstorm.
Yes, the Mario Kart-esque Disney.
I'm actually interested in that.
I thought it was more like Rocket League until they showed the racing, and I was like, okay, it's more like Mario Kart.
Mario Kart meets Disney characters, yeah.
They need they need to keep them taking like a page out of Mario and just go for like Disney Brothers or Disney Kong Country Returns.
There's also the Switch exclusive game.
Is it Switch exclusive? Because I thought I saw it on Steam.
No, this not Speedstorm. I'm saying there's the other game that they also announced was that I'm actually interested in was the Disney exclusive. I forget the freaking name of it. The Nintendo Switch exclusive platformer.
Right, I saw that. I forgot to write on the sheet.
So no Disney Effect Andromeda?
Aw.
Zenith's bitter today. Like Zenith, bitter.
I'm not bitter.
Disney Souls.
It's just it's interesting that they've been doing it because honestly, like Nintendo shouldn't have like exclusive rights to like a specific Smash Brothers formula because we've seen. I hate to bring up the company again, but we saw like the Nickelodeon fighting game, and now we're seeing like multiverse. Mm-hmm. So, and then obviously we've seen many different Mario Kart clones. Like Disney actually had
the Garfield Kart Racer. Hell yeah!
I never played that one.
Illusion Island. It's called Disney Illusion Island.
That's the one.
Yeah. What was that? What was that? Was it like Mickey's Raceway? Was it for the N64 or was it for the GameCube?
I don't remember Mickey's Raceway.
But I don't know.
Yeah, but it was like Disney has done that, so they're not new to kart racing.
What about I'm interesting. I didn't play it, but it looked interesting. Remember the epic Mickeys that were on like the Wii and the Wii? Were those actually
Mickey's
good?
Speedway.
Yes, they were really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like I don't know why they didn't delve into that much kind of stuff anymore.
Maybe because like it was a little bit too dark.
I can see that.
Sure.
Yeah, it was definitely like you wouldn't expect a child to play it.
So here's what's interesting.
I think it was rated T for teen.
Here's what's interesting about Disney now. I feel like Disney's gearing towards this market to where they're catering more to like millennials and to an extent Gen Z, because now millennials have kids.
Yes.
And millennials, like our age, grow up with this Disney nostalgia, and they get their kids into it, and they're the ones that spend the money at Disneyland every year. They keep renewing the annual passes, all that kind of stuff. I'm curious as to why they're trying to get the gaming market, which I think is predominantly more. I think they would benefit more from a millennial income in terms of games, because those are the ones that buy the PCs, those are the ones that buy the PlayStations, all of that stuff. Not the kids, not the teenagers and kids. Those get paid for by their parents. So like, I'm curious why they're not going there. Everything I've seen from this Disney showcase looks more geared towards a child. Disney kart racing and stuff like that, whereas something like Epic Mickey would cater more to a millennial.
I think they go through like kind of like a wave where they first focus entirely on like the younger audience, or like the more nostalgic, because like because like, don't forget, like sometimes they kind of like dip to like the darker, more mature audiences, such as like Kingdom Hearts, and then stuff like that. And then other like Disney titles are like more geared towards adults, and then they'll go right back down again to more stuff that's light in nature, and
I think honestly, I think Disney's just in a weird place right now where they don't know what direction to go.
Or maybe they do,
or they're just going in
seeing
all
what shit
kinds
sticks.
of directions.
Yeah.
It's kind of like with Zelda, I guess, where they're just trying to throw some stuff out and see what works.
Right. Because the kart racing one looks a lot of fun. The Dreamlight Valley thing's going to be a hit. I think, just by the way Lesh is describing it, I think for a Disney fanatic, it's going to be a hit. A Disney fanatic that plays video games. Let me correct that. A Disney fanatic that plays video games, that's going to be a hit. But we'll see what happens. What was interesting about this whole thing, and people didn't, or many people talked about it, the stuff that people really, really wanted to see was showcased in little blurps at the end, almost like end credits. They showed the Kingdom Hearts fort. They showed the Wolverine game that was supposed to be from Insomniac.
Yeah.
What was the other one that they? Yeah.
I think it was Spider-Man game. People were
Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Like, that stuff I think people actually want. Zenith's grin on
But that's
his
the
face.
thing. So that's when I think about, as somebody who knows like what the D23 audience is.
Yeah.
That's who they cater to. They cater to the D23 audience and not gamers.
Right.
So
I don't
they
think that was
disappointed a lot of
actually
gamers,
Zen
but
groaning. I think it was Dill, but we could blame Zenith.
both of them.
It was Dill. I was just trying to mock him.
But no, Leshki's completely right. Like, this is a certain group of people that they are trying to cater to. They're trying to cater to a Disney fanatic and not a video game fanatic, I think.
Right. Yeah, it was definitely like you said, parents.
Right.
There was a lot of D23. It's just a whole bunch of Disney fans. And it's just like, oh, when you see this, the mobile games, everybody has a freaking phone nowadays. So that's why they hyper focused on that.
Right. Because you see it all the time at the store too. Like, parents just throw their phone in their kid's face and that kid is just shuts up.
I hate Snickers.
So yeah, it was definitely catered to the D23 audience, but hopefully they, since they're streaming it for free anyways, maybe they can branch out next time.
They'll probably, I would imagine they're going to do another one. We'll see.
They'll learn from this.
So this is there was a rumor of an upcoming Nintendo Direct, and then now that rumor's kind of come that it's still coming because of, those unfortunate, we lost the Queen of England and.
Yeah. Apparently what I heard is that they were planning on showing off a Direct, but obviously with what happened in recently in the UK, they decided to delay it. Rumor is that it's going to be something happening sometime next week now instead.
Right.
Yeah, I think they didn't want it to be overshadowed by it, so
Right.
So,
and I think rightfully so. Like, whether or not your opinions of the Queen are, she's still a figurehead that has lived through a lifetime of experience.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind what that woman saw in her lifetime. 13 U.S. presidents and
15 prime ministers.
Her first one was Churchill, like Winston
first one was
Churchill,
Churchill,
pre-World War
Winston
I
Churchill.
Winston Churchill. Like, she lived through that.
Yep.
It just blows my mind. But so it's understandable that Nintendo would not want to put out, a trendable slew of content when the Queen,
Yeah, because like
Yeah, it makes
news
sense.
is going to be circulating for the next couple of days.
yeah.
At least.
So that's
Don't
just
talk about food.
Food.
Oh, I want food. Okay, so so we don't have the Nintendo Direct. What do you think we're going to see at the Nintendo Direct? I'm going to guess we're going to see the Dreamlight Valley thing to some extent on the
Probably.
Nintendo
They did it
Direct.
the last one.
Oh, they did do it the last one? Okay, so
Yeah.
So the big rumor is that the Wii U versions of Zelda, Twilight Princess, and A Link to the Past are rumored to be
That's
released for the
the rumor.
Nintendo Switch. Is
Sorry,
this gonna happen?
Wind Waker and Twilight Princess.
Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. Supposedly, it's going to be in a 2-pack, and it's going to be Nintendo's first $70 game. That's what I heard.
If it's 2 games,
But it's
I'll
2
pay
games
them.
Okay.
for the price of one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, not even the
Yeah.
price of one. The price of 1.5. But
So that's like
But if you-
$35 a game.
Yeah, so like if it's just the one game, $70 for each. No,
No,
thank you.
no.
No.
I don't.
No.
That would be almost like
robbery.
robbery,
Yeah,
but that
'cause
would
it-
almost be like sales suicide for the holiday season if they did
'Cause, like,
those two.
The thing is, Skyward Sword was about what, $50.
50? I
Not
think it was
only
50.
did they, they did like an HD texture remake, but they also apparently improved the technology between like the motion controls, and then they also added button controls.
Yeah.
So you can, and because like that was a Wii game, not a GameCube game, you could kind of justify the price of that. But if it's 2 GameCube games that are $70 each, no.
I think-
That's not what
I'm
works.
Captain Zelda. No.
I think they're going to be
Captain
40.
Captain
If I'm
Zelda
being-
says no.
if I'm being
Nintendo.
completely honest, if they do a split sale, like it's each copy comes out, each game comes out in its own separate release, my money's betting that they're going to do 40.
Yeah.
Yeah,
40
that's-
will probably be an
Yeah,
average.
and then
yeah.
$10 discount if you get both of them.
Because
Yeah.
no, I don't think any game company does 5s. Like they don't do $35.99. They don't do $55.99. They don't do that. It's either 30 or 40. So I think 60 for both games together would be too low. I have a feeling they're going to do separately releases. It's going to be 40 apiece. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen if they do it.
Yeah.
But the problem Nintendo has right now is they have nothing for the holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Splatoon 3 and Xenoblade 3 which are already out. Those are the only
Yeah,
thing they have for this
Pokemon.
holiday season. And the Pokemon. Pokemon will help. But they have
Look at the sales.
That's not too bad of a lineup, like especially
No.
if you're big fans
Oh.
of those games.
Bayonetta 3.
is that
Why
this year?
Bayonetta?
That's this year, October.
Interesting.
They seem
But-
to
Number
have
one.
like they have a schedule all set for like fall and for leading up to the holiday season, but it feels like they're missing one more game that they can release like around the holiday, and something that is because we're probably not going to see another Nintendo Direct until about maybe January or February,
Probably February,
Um,
I'd say.
and there is nothing there. I mean, yes, it's Breath of the Wild too, but
Surprise.
they haven't shown much.
That's
of
not
it.
coming this year. Like Breath of the Wild 2 is a
No.
no-go.
No. It's not coming up before this year. But like, the Nintendo Direct should focus on not only what's coming up for the holiday, but what's coming up early next year, or stuff that they can just start teasing about something that you're going to start seeing around like the mid or early 2023.
They don't have a console seller. Like they don't have a COD that sells Xboxes and PlayStations. They don't have that. They don't have they don't have a console seller. Zelda's a console seller. We say this all the
Yeah.
time. Like Zelda will get people to buy a Switch to play it. And if it's one of those things, this is why I think this needs to happen. If they want to sell Switches this year to people that haven't bought Switches, or they want to get people to upgrade their Switches and buy the OLED, they need to give people a reason to do it. And the Zelda, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess is the perfect thing because you have two fronts. You have people that never bought a Wii U that didn't get to play these. And then on top of it, you have a whole market of people that are now making money, have money, that have put their GameCubes in an attic or sold their GameCubes off at a yard sale or mom threw it away. Now they can go play these again. Now they can go buy a Switch OLED and they can go buy these games and relive that whole nostalgia all over again. And Nintendo makes fat cash during the holiday season.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I will say, I skipped the Wii U, so Nintendo, where's the Zelda games? Cough them up now.
Right. Like that,
So-
it makes the most sense.
There are a couple of things that I think I would they've kind of rumored to about coming down, but also something that might like excite people because first of all, Animal Crossing. If you're playing Animal Crossing, you got this big fat juicy DLC that was bundled right into the Nintendo Switch Online expansion. But I know people that's built like 100 houses for their villagers, and they're starting to run out of stuff, and there's no more like seasonal stuff that's coming.
Content's just getting stale.
So are they going to be doing something else for Animal Crossing? Mario,
Or a new
there's
one.
been-
Or a new one.
Yeah.
They've been rumored like this. There's been rumors of like a new Mario coming out. Is it going to be like a sequel to like a Mario Odyssey 2?
Or is it? Yeah.
Are they going to expand on the tech demo of Bowser's Fury?
I
go
think they
with
should
that.
expand. I think they should expand on Bowser's Fury, honestly, because
Yes.
that was definitely a better path than just doing a sequel to a game that already is perfect.
Yeah, because personally, I would love to see like more of that, but with more fleshed out and like a bigger world and not just like a tiny mini game.
More content for it as well, because
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
quite short.
It was
Bowser's
exciting.
Fury. Yeah.
It was actually exciting because like you can't get too complacent going around. Like, have you ever played Bowser's Fury, Eric?
I had not played the Bowser's Fury yet, but I am very well versed in the 3D world. That was probably in my top 3 Marios.
Yeah. So Bowser's Fury takes pretty much the concept or the entire system of 3D world and puts it into a single player adventure that's only about maybe 6 to 10 hours. Where you go around in like a tiny area and you can use like a plessy to travel from island to island, and you try and get as many suns or what
Right.
would be like moons, and you try and get them there to try and progress through the story. But if you take too long, Bowser shows up and he starts throwing like raining magma, other spikes,
Just
and
wrecks your
other
day.
stuff. You'll try and break
Destroys
fire.
everything.
Yeah, it's actually like so exciting because you're just you're going about your business. You just see it raining, and then Bowser drops in heavy metal guitars playing in the background, and
Nice,
you're just like,
nice.
"Oh my god!"
Also, a
And
fun
it's
thing
so
as
much
well is
fun.
that when Bowser does that, the field actually changes as well, so you can access certain areas that you couldn't access before.
Yeah, like some you actually need Bowser to help you to get to different areas.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Maybe they'll do Metroid Prime 4, but we haven't seen anything
But I
from
mean,
that.
they are working on that, but they had to completely redo the entire thing from scratch. So I don't know if we'll see that until 2024, 2025, honestly.
Yeah, I hope we
Yeah.
see they need something. They need something
Yeah.
this holiday to get people to go buy Switches and keep that
Yeah.
train
I
afloat.
saw that
And
there was talk about them doing a remaster of the Prime trilogy.
that's another one that would sell.
That
like
would be
stuff.
a good one.
Again, it
Yeah.
caters to that market of people that got rid of their Switches or their GameCubes. I'm sorry, people that got rid of their GameCubes, and they want that nostalgia again.
Yeah.
And Switches are affordable compared to PlayStation 5s and Xbox. Switch at 300. What is it?
Yeah.
$350 I think for an OLED.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
That's wow.
Yeah, $350 for an OLED, and if Nintendo's smart, they'll do a combo pack where you get the game with the Switch or whatever, and for $400, you've got the game and you've got a Switch you could take anywhere, and you feed that nostalgia all over again, and it's portable.
You know what I'd love to see? Different colors for the OLED. Oh, I know. Because I don't think they would do that. I don't know if they would announce anything.
They
like
would
that,
do the
but I would love to see
Joy-Con
different
colors.
variations.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a huge fan of that, so that's why I didn't jump on it. Because I'm like, I love my Animal Crossing one. I don't want to switch it out, and so if I can see different colors,
That actually reminds me, in 2020, my buddy, he's a bassist for a death metal band, and he bought the Animal Crossing Switch, but he put Doom right in the thing.
Nice.
And that's
oh
how
my
he
god,
played
that is
Doom.
fantastic.
So he's got like this cuddling Animal Crossing Switch playing, and he's just like beating the shit out of aliens on Doom, and I'm like, this is the best year of my life.
The Wind Waker, like, let's put the Zelda Switch with the Wind Waker Twilight Princess pack would fly off shelves. That
That
combo
would
Yeah,
fly
pack.
off,
absolutely.
yes.
That system gold base, green Joy-Cons with the two, that would fly off shelves.
Yeah, especially if they had like Zelda theme Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
Here's another thing that I saw. They're might be working on a new Donkey Kong game.
That's due. Yeah, that one's due.
Ooh.
We haven't had
That one
Donkey
is
Kong in a
due.
minute.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't mind if it's 2D, but like, they tried 3D with an DK64. Like, I played Banjo-Kazooie to him, even Conker's Bad Fur Day, and Donkey Kong 64 is probably like in the lower tier out of all of them.
Which one was the one with the bongos?
I never played that one.
I forget what that one's called, Conga something or whatever, but I see them
Yeah.
all the
Donkey
time, like the
Konga or
controller,
something like
the
that.
Congo
I know
controller.
there was
Oh, yeah.
one with the bongo controller.
Oh, Jungle Beat or something.
Jungle
like that.
Beat, that's the one.
Yeah.
Let's shift gears to Ubisoft here. So we'll see what happens.
Uber.
Nintendo's gonna
Yeah.
do some. I think they were gonna do it, and then the Queen thing kind of rescheduled that whole thing. So we'll see what happens with it. But it looks like we have a new Assassin's Creed. I'm looking at this live here from Wario64 on Twitter. There is a new Assassin's Creed. This is going to be called
Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Mirage.
Ass in?
Do you not like Assassin's Creeds?
No, I enjoyed Assassin's Creed. Just haven't played one in a while.
I lose interest after I think it's Brotherhood. I think is the one after the Ezio trilogy finishes.
Revelations.
Yeah, I played 3. I didn't mind it, but I had no interest in going back to it or doing any of the side content. It wasn't executed well.
Right.
Like, I hear Black Flag was great, but
That's the one I
Black
hear
Flag
is really really
honest
good.
answer. If you want to get into a game after the Ezio trilogy, Black Flag is fantastic, especially if you love pirates.
That's the one I hear is very very well done. People really love that
Yes.
one. Okay, so we have Assassin's Creed Mirage. There's no footage here for me to look at yet. At least I haven't looked for it yet. But
There's a trailer out, I think, for it.
okay, but there is a collector's edition on 149. These things are getting more and more expensive, or is it just me?
What?
$149 for this collection. It comes with a statue that you're
They've
going to have in
already-
your room.
They've already got a collection bundle for
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And then I think the bigger news is they have this Assassin's Creed Infinity. It's a hub that will connect to the Assassin's Creed experience. They're going to go, I think they talked about this,
Online multiplayer.
online multiplayer. Now it's different
Yeah.
worlds and all this kind of
Yeah.
stuff, massive multi, which seems to work, I think, rather than releasing a whole new game every year. Just do
I
it as
feel
a
like if they
service
were
and
to
build on
do
it.
that and then make the story-based games every few years, that would definitely help them because
They need to slow they need to slow the single player
Yeah.
games down and take more time with them.
They do.
yeah, because I can't recognize it as Assassin's Creed anymore.
No.
Yeah, it's gotten
And
weird.
even then, like even before that, like the titles were getting rather watered down.
Do they still do the whole animus thing and like you sit in that
Yes.
machine and all? Okay.
Yes, they do.
I was like,
it's a
did they-
different. In the recent game, it's a different character. Like Odyssey and Valhalla, there's a different character you play as who doesn't have to be related to an assassin to do it anymore. Like
Okay.
in the core one, you had to have like a
Right. There was like a
connection to-
bloodline, right? There was like
Yeah.
a chain and a bloodline, and then they.
But in
just-
the more modern day machines, anyone can access it now.
Yeah.
Like any person.
And this is probably no surprise, but there is Just Dance 2023.
I'm
Oh, look at the
excited.
cheers on her face.
Dance,
Yeah.
Because I was reading about it. I literally just reading about it, obviously because we couldn't watch the Ubisoft thing, but they finally are doing online multiplayer.
Hey, nice.
You and Pow need to talk because Pow
Like,
lives, breathes, and sleeps Just Dance.
Yeah, because I used to I do, they do the world whatever the dance
Tour,
world,
yeah.
but it's not the same than picking your 3 friends or 4 friends that you want to play with and just be like, yeah, let's do this dance together. So that they finally added that.
Okay, I will give them that. That is actually a creative genius thing to do
Finally.
for that game.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be a party central.
I'm still trying to figure out what obviously they're adding the online multiplayer, but it says, they have a new user interface at last.
My only experience
What?
playing Just Dance was
Charity.
I was hanging out with your artist, Leshki. Well, one of
Lizzie?
Christine Panini.
Oh my God. Yeah, she has
Yeah.
she made my background.
So I was hanging out at her house, and I was doing some Just Dance, but I had a fart gun. So I was just ripping out farts while dancing.
Oh my god.
And I almost
She
broke
has
her
this look
TV.
of like, if you're listening right now, Lesh, she has this look of like disgust and confusion all into
I don't
one.
know this man. I
don't know what's going on.
I wouldn't expect anything else, though. Let's be real. But yeah, no, I'm really excited. They only announced a couple of their songs, of course. 'cause that's what they
Yeah, it
do.
looks like they're gonna have Dua Lipa in there, Madison Beer, Justin Timberlake. Some of these people I don't even know, but yeah, I mean, this is no surprise. They do this every year, and it's
Yeah.
people love
It's
it. and-
late this year, though.
Is it?
I was starting to get worried. Well, they usually announce it like
Oh, it's usually out E3
earlier.
time, right? Like
It's usually out around October.
yeah, E3 is when they usually announce it, right? And then it's good to go into
Yeah.
I remember my girlfriend bought the whole like online pack where that gets you access to all the old songs.
Oh, the unlimited.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do. I still get that every year. Because eventually you get bored of the 40 songs that come with the game. So
That's a lot of songs to get bored of. Like the
it's a
dance
lot
now.
of songs. It's
That's so yeah, just there's nothing else here. I mean, we'll probably talk about this in a later podcast when we get more details and actually can look at the footage and stuff when we see it. But yeah, Just Dance and more Assassin's Creed coming out of the Ubisoft camp. There was an article about Ubisoft here. While we're tied in, we'll go through this one real quick here. Ubisoft details further changes to company culture. This came out of GameIndustry.biz. Let's see here. It's redirecting. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Chief People Officer Annika Grant. If you don't know what a Chief People Officer is, a lot of companies are doing this. They're changing the name from Human Resources to People.
Okay.
It's supposed to kind of give your impression, because HR gets a bad rap nowadays because of all the stuff that comes out now, allegations, all that stuff. So even our company did it. We changed it to the People Department or something like that. People resources. I don't know, but this is becoming a very common thing. So if you're not sure what a Chief People Officer is, basically it's like head of HR.
Right.
Annika Grant, Vice President for Global Diversity, Inclusion, and Accessibility, Rishi Sika, detailed initiatives in the Assassin's Creed publisher was soon introduced to better support 20,000 staff. Here's some quick details here. First thing, they're going to introduce a global self-identification program, which will invite employees to confidentially and voluntarily share information about themselves, their race, gender, identity, and disabilities. The information will be used to help understand the experience of each person from a much more inclusive lens and allow us to take actions that truly support our colleagues. Let's see. An initiative. They also introduced an initiative called Project Rise, which is designed to improve representational racial, ethnic, and cultural diversity. And this is all in a 5-year strategy to ensure that Ubisoft better reflects the diversity of our players and will focus on further improvements to recruitment, internal talent, and development. Let's see.
all right then.
Yeah, so this sounds like standard fare, because I don't remember what happened, but didn't Ubisoft get caught under some heat for something like earlier this year or late last year?
Oh, they've been under heat for a while because they had abusers in their workforce and higher up in the hierarchies, basically. And while they did let go of a lot of them, they were still hiding a good number within their ranks, and there are still, to this day, there are still like alleged abusers
That haven't been
like,
disciplined or
that haven't
investigated.
yeah, basically.
So,
And they weren't even investigated either. Some of these people, they'll just like let go and then that's it.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like that Blizzard thing where it's like, all right, we're gonna investigate ourselves, and we found nothing wrong.
Yeah, we don't see a problem here. To touch on that here's some of the strides Ubisoft claims they've made. There's been a big focus on gender equality, that in the most recent fiscal year, the gender pay gap across the company was reduced from 1.7% to 1.3. That doesn't seem like much of a dent.
Not
No,
really.
it's not.
That seems like dollars, pennies and dollars.
Pennies for like any rich person.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Here's some interesting facts. Women now represent 25% of all employees up from 22% in 2020.
Okay.
40
Still not that great.
Yeah,
No.
42% of the company's executive committee and 45% of the board of directors are also women.
Well, if you consider like the allegations that they were under, 25% of their company representing women kind of like paints a very clear picture of the fact that the gaming industry for a lot of these like major companies is still not safe, and not enough women are trusting brands like companies like
Right.
Ubisoft to that they're going to look after them in the workplace and keep them safe.
And then
Sad but true.
1/3 of all hires over the past 12 months have also been women. Okay, so here's where I'm kind of obviously I think what Ubisoft is doing is good. Like, yes, it's important to
Yes.
fix these
It's
issues.
a step in the right direction, yes,
Right.
but still a lot more work to do.
But
a lot of
Right.
work.
the vibe I'm getting from this is it seems like, oh, we're fixing the problem we have by just hiring more women.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
the best thing
Which
to
I
I
don't
feel like
think it's the
they're
answer.
just like saying like, oh look, we're getting more women to join. That means it's safe, right?
Right.
Like-
That's what's bothering me about this. Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily
like
fix. I don't think it necessarily fixes the problem. To fix the problem, you go and you fix the problem with the women that you do have staff there, because
Right.
they're the ones that are experiencing the problems and the issues. It's not a matter of just like, oh, we're okay, let's hire. We're hired more women. The problem's not a problem anymore, right? We're more inclusive. You know.
Yeah, it reminds me of an incident where one person was like, this isn't like entirely something different, where this one guy, he was president of a company, or actually like a sports team, and he was accused of being completely dismissive of sexual harassment within the organization, and basically his way of trying to do like a good PR stunt was he brought like a whole bunch of women on stage with him to present some kind of award, and it's like, no, you don't do that. That
That's
does
not it.
not tell anything. It's just like, here's all these people, these women that are bribed, but like, hey, things are okay now.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And
That's irritating.
That's that
Yeah.
and those type of stunts, and I don't want to say this is a stunt on Ubisoft's end, because obviously they're trying to make some kind of strides to fix
Yeah.
the problems. So I don't want to
They're
call
trying.
it
I'll give them that.
I don't want to call it a stunt. But what it kind of tells me is that, oh, these allegations and these issues that we had brought up that got into the public limelight, it's affecting our sales. We need to
we gotta do something.
we gotta
right?
do
Yeah.
something.
Quick.
So it's like,
Money.
oh, well,
Always
what's the
comes down to
problem?
money.
Oh, women are being treated poorly here. Women aren't going to buy our games. Okay, well, let's hire more women so women can see that Ubisoft is women friendly, and they'll buy our games. That's the vibe I get from this kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Like, granted, like I said, I'll reiterate here, I think it's good that they're trying to fix the issues that they have, but this just doesn't seem like a full 100%.
This
Yeah,
seems like
money
more of like a
talks.
PR-y thingy versus
Yeah. Dill
Good
just linked in
intentions.
the Discord here, the twitter.com.
It's a
better
Twitter
Ubis-
account for a betterubisoft.com. They are a group of former Ubisoft employees who are basically campaigning for a much better work environment in Ubisoft. And if you want to keep up to date with all of this, like everything that's going on in Ubisoft right now and any changes that they have made, or like what they're campaigning for, that's the Twitter account. That's where you can go there. You can even go sign things and everything like that to show your support to them.
I will
basically.
link this in the chat here. If you are on the
Yes.
chat and are interested in that link, there is the @ for Twitter. You can tweet that at Better Ubisoft, and they'll get you some more answers. But yeah, they're trying to fix it, but I don't think they're just
there's a lot of work to do. It's not
Yes,
something that's
yeah.
gonna happen overnight for sure.
right. And that's the thing I think we need to understand too, because people get very, very upset over this stuff where it's like, well, you're not doing anything. You haven't done anything. This doesn't help this stuff takes time. Like, it takes time for a large company of 20,000 employees, which, granted, 20,000 employees compared to a Microsoft or an Apple or something like that is not very big. But it still takes time to take a group of 20,000 employees and figure out where the problems are, where the cracks are, and how to fix them. Like, it takes time. It takes years. This is not just something they can do like, oh, boom, we changed it, we fixed. No, there's all kinds of things that they have to go through and look at, policies, procedures, figure out what we can do better, how we handle this stuff. And this is, like I said, a 20,000 people company. Look at a Microsoft or an Apple that has millions of employees, and then it's just the grand scale. Like, it's needle in a haystack, because it's not like, well, yes, an example of Blizzard, it was rampant throughout the company.
Mm-hmm.
But in a case of like Apple with millions of employees, you may only find out that the problem is just in one subset division located in some remote part of the country, you know? And it's like, well, okay, we got to figure out what happened here. So it's tough. They have to work on it. And the other part of this article here, which Dill just linked the Twitter, let's see here. A Better Ubisoft group. Okay, so 8 individuals from A Better Ubisoft commented on the company's progress, all changes under pseudonyms. They recognize that there have been positive changes ongoing in, workshops, women receiving promotions, pay increases, and everything. They're making strides. They're working on creating more diverse teams. But they also claim that it's not reflected across every studio Ubisoft has around the world. This is just what I was saying. Things take time to move. Some departments are smaller than others, that they can make these changes and implement them more quickly than, other divisions and stuff, etc. Plus investigations. Things take time to investigate, figure out where the issues are. Key HR leaders were replaced. Some of the individuals that were directly responsible for the dismissive complaints that Dill brought up earlier and protecting abusers over the many years remain in post today. So just like Dill said, there are still some individuals that have not been disciplined. And I say these are alleged. They have not been disciplined for their alleged, acts and actions. And then, of course, Ubisoft came out saying they responded swiftly to the allegations in 2020 and since then have made great strides. So, yes, typical PR stuff. Hey, we're looking into it. We're working on it. So, while it's
We'll
important,
just wait and see.
Yeah, while it's important to be angry and it's important to, want change in those things, people have to understand these things take time. They take years to fix.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
We just
But
got to
they
stay
still-
on them.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. We got to stay
Absolutely.
on them.
They just exactly like that's why you have to still pressure them. You have to keep them accountable, because like the moment you forget about it, the moment you sweep
They'll
it on
stop.
the rug,
Yeah,
they're gonna stop.
Yeah.
Because once again, money talks.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, they probably ran into the problem where like, oh, women aren't going to buy our games with this news out there. Let's hire more women to make it look like. That's the vibe I get from this, which I don't want to say that I have that vibe. Like, it's wrong. Like, I feel bad saying I have that vibe, but like, that's the vibe I get.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You just can't be like, oh, we'll hire more women. That fixes the problem. But, and then, so we'll keep an eye on Ubisoft. We'll look at this Assassin's Creed thing, when we get another trailer for it and more details. And we are on to see here. Facebook Gaming shut down the iOS and Android apps on the 28th of October. This came out of The Verge. So,
Yeah.
the Facebook Gaming platform has not gone away.
No.
This is just the app.
The app.
Which Facebook is a big fan of multiple apps for things. They have their own app for
Yeah.
just the messaging and all that stuff. I'm
Yeah.
gonna guess they're gonna come up with some kind of meta app or something and make it all.
Ugh, VR headset.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Facebook is full for anyone concerned about Facebook. Because I imagine there's some kind of Facebook gaming broadcaster or partner or something that would be concerned about a news saying like, oh, or mishears it and says, oh, they're shutting down. Like, they're gonna get Mixer, like the Mixer scenario, which I don't think that's necessarily going to happen yet, because I was about to say Facebook's all in on Meta. It's actually
100%.
the company is actually Meta. I should reiterate this. Meta is
is
the
Meta.
company, and Facebook Gaming is a division of Meta. So Meta is all in on VR headset. The Quest, is it the Quest?
The Quest
Quest
2, I think. at
Okay, so the
moment.
Quest is the VR headset. That thing sells very, very well. It's one of the more affordable headsets compared to like Valve's and
And it's pretty good.
yeah, and it's good. So, and it's compatible with stuff like the Steam VR games and stuff like that with some tweaking. So it sells very well and it makes good money. I think they're not gonna end with Facebook Gaming, but
No.
In a way, I almost kind of think they will. But that's just me. The only reason, it's just their numbers are just not there.
Hmm.
And knowing what I know about, I don't even know, Zuckerberg, whatever his name is.
Mark.
If it's not
Yeah, Fuckerberg.
producing money, they're just gonna, whatever.
Yep.
Right.
They're not gonna care about it.
We talked. You weren't here for the last one, but we talked about the whole the Twitch Amazon scenario about the partner, changes and all that kind of stuff. And I'm in the same boat where I think like Amazon's eventually going to dump Twitch and it's going to
100%.
go somewhere else. Will Twitch disappear? Probably not. Someone else will pick it up and make use of it.
Yeah, someone's gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Nevertheless.
Facebook, I don't know. Gaming is just such a small subset of Facebook because Facebook itself has huge traffic. Huge amounts of traffic. But then again, you think about it, Facebook's user base is, older millennial to Gen X, or actually I would say it's more Gen X.
Gen X.
Yeah.
Gen X to like Gen and Boomers.
Yeah, Gen and Boomers are, Facebook's bread and butter right now. And I mean, I don't even know if that community has an interest in video games.
No.
Lesh might be right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it might just end up being like, if you want to stream on it, cool, great. We're not gonna invest into I don't think they're gonna be at conventions anymore. I don't think they're gonna the way that Mixer kind of just went away is because they just stopped investing in it.
Yeah.
Microsoft was like, nah, I'm done. And I have a feeling Zuckerberg is gonna say, nah, I'm done.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. The Mixer thing's crazy because I don't think they gave it enough. They didn't give it enough time.
They just threw money at it and then just like, all right, bye-bye.
Did the furniture finish? Is the furniture up and running? Is that Leshki has, if you're listening, Leshki has like this smile, like this pleased, like, oh, I approve smile.
Yeah, it's done.
Wifey approved. But
after many hours, the poor guy.
Day 26, found missing screw.
And we watched you sit there and watch him do it.
Yeah.
By
That's
himself.
right.
Damn.
Listen,
I feel like
I'm
we were all
unable to
in this
help
journey.
and lift heavy things.
I feel like we were all in this journey together. But
And in my defense, I did say, you should call somebody to help you. And he stubbornly said,
Stubborn
no, I can
ass.
do it.
Leshki, we're men. We
Oh,
don't
threw
do
something
that.
there.
We don't do that. I know
I
for a
saw
fact.
that.
I know for a fact the three here in this panel wouldn't do that. Zenith would be like, "Hell no, I got this." Dill would be like, "No."
Yeah,
Fuck yeah,
I
I
assembled
would.
a wardrobe all on my own a while ago, so yeah.
Wait, you would Zenith?
Yeah, I'd help.
No. We're not
Ask for
talking.
help.
No. Like,
No,
would you
ask for
call
help.
for help?
Yeah.
No, I'm doing it by
Yeah.
myself.
See?
Fuck that shit.
Hell
The
no.
three of
have,
them wouldn't
like,
ask for help. either.
Diarrhea from like burritos from the night before, and I'd still do it by myself.
Jesus. That explains quick.
No, I'm not
Get your
turning the
toolkit
camera.
out and
It's
just do it.
We'll use it as the thumbnail for the episode.
fine. We'll take pictures.
Yeah, we'll use it as the thumbnail for
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens with Facebook gaming. Something's gonna happen
Yeah.
with it.
Something else.
And to wind out here, we'll spend a few minutes on this. The Pokemon Trail revealed the 3 main campaigns of Scarlet and Violet. So give us, our resident Pokemon expert here, give us the condensed version of these.
Right. So, for those who don't know, they announced it a while ago in one of the trailers that there'll be 3 separate campaigns in the game Pokemon Scarlet, Pokemon Violet. They've kind of done this before where they've had little side stories here and there, but these are like 3 official full campaigns that you can experience in the game. The first one is standard Victory Road one, where you go through the entire Pokemon journey, you go through the gyms, you go through the league. They announced the chairwoman of the league, which I assume is the champion of the league as well, Geeta. 2. Standard thing they didn't normally do. The second one is the Paths of Legends, which, from the looks of it, is more of a treasure hunt type of campaign, where you have to hunt down some kind of treasure in an area with a Titan Pokemon, which is similar to in the Alpha Pokemon in Legends Arceus, where you face bigger versions of certain Pokemon. In this case, a rock-type Pokemon called Clorth was advertised in this one. Very goofy-looking crab Pokemon. Crab raves all around. And then the final storyline that they showed off was the Starfall Street one, where you basically encounter the villainous group. I think they're called Team Star or something. Where you get into, I think they're like a rival school or something. I don't know. They're like a rival school, a rival.
That was the one that interested me. The school concept, like
Yeah.
you fight other
Yeah.
schools.
Yeah, and then like the end boss is Mela, who's like looks like a rock star on top of like a giant musical vehicle. That some have hinted the musical vehicle might be a Pokemon. That entire like giant vehicle could actually be a Pokemon, and I'm just like,
Wait, is this the one with the wheels and it's using its
Yeah.
legs?
yeah, it could be a ghost type Pokemon that's
a
like
wild-
inhabiting the planet. It's insane. It looks cool. But yeah, that's basically. There were also some more Pokemon reveals as well. They revealed the new trainers, confirmed grass type Pokemon gym leader, Brassius. There's Mega Man style Pokemon that look really cool called Clearage and Armorage. And yeah, that's pretty much like the rundown of the entirety of like what was shown basically in these trailers.
So-
honestly, and it was.
We're just getting confirmation on basically the storylines and stuff that we can do.
Yeah.
So this game comes out when? November?
18th of November. Both games come out. I will probably be playing it day one. I think my plan is that I'm gonna play one on stream, one off stream, just to like experience both of them, but in different kind of like scenarios where like one I make content on, one I just play on my own spare time just for the hell of it.
All right. So we'll keep a lookout for Dill's playthrough of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And that's it for today, everyone. We'll see what happens. We'll talk some more. We'll look at some more of the Assassin's Creed stuff comes. Hopefully, if we get more Pokemon info, Dill will share that with us. Leshki will keep us
a
up.
lot, so
Yeah, Leshki will keep us up to date on Disney Dreamland Valley.
yes.
That's
And
all
then-
I'm playing. Dreamlight Valley.
Sorry,
Dreamland Valley.
sorry. Disney Light Valley. There you go. Dream Valley. Fill it with the word.
Wow.
What? She's offended, guys. She's got this look on her face. She went from 100 happy that the thing was built down to like now I'm angry because Erik didn't acknowledge the game correctly. I will fix that right now. Hold on. Disney Dreamlight
Disney.
Valley.
Dreamlight Valley.
That's
Dreamland
right.
Valley sounds like a Kirby game.
It
It
does.
does. I want Kirby in this game. Give me the Kirby download.
Kirby,
compact.
Dreamland.
Give me the
Yeah,
Kirby
because it would
download
suck
pack.
and wouldn't be a bad thing.
It would definitely suck.
So
That's the reason I'm playing Dreamlight Valley. What Shibby said in the chat, don't get mad, think of the baby. It's like I gotta stick to games that won't get me mad.
yeah, the stress. That's actually a very like valid
Mm-hmm.
thing. You don't want to go playing Elden Ring when you're pregnant. You'll just
Don't play
No.
Elden Ring, absolutely. Don't play Dark Souls. Don't play
Yeah.
Pokemon.
stress-free environment. Zen, very nice.
That's why I feel bad because I made a commitment to. I didn't make a commitment, but I'm
Zen.
supposed to be playing a horror game
Oh,
because I raised enough money for charity. But I didn't expect this to happen, so now I
Yeah.
have to postpone it.
Nine
I was gonna
Years.
say, Eric, I'm not good for Leshki's stress levels.
No.
Neither am I.
Neither am I. That's
You have to
I
remember
think
who I'm
yeah,
married
you
to,
know,
though,
that's why
so-
she's like I'm not coming
I
in
can
today.
tolerate
guys.
it.
She's like I'm not coming in today, guys. And we're like we all know why. But
Once a month.
some administrative stuff here before we close out. Now, if you do -- social media in the chat, it'll send you to a link tree where you can get the links to this show on Apple and Spotify. I cleaned all that up.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Social media. Sorry.
Social-
I typed
social.
link tree.
Social. Oh,
I also typed link tree, but yeah, social media will take you to a link tree. You can go get the Twitter, the Instagram, all of that good stuff, the Spotify and Apple links for each show. Good people with Erik and Hannah, good friends, good games. You can get those links. If you go to the About section here on the Twitch channel, I will also add these to the link tree. Also, both the Good Friends, Good Games YouTube is actually up now. We have artwork there. It looks presentable. So, like, if you want to go watch that stuff over on YouTube, go. It looks presentable. It's not just a green G anymore.
Hi, YouTube.
we fix it. It will get updated even more. We'll dress it up a little bit. But now there's artwork there and stuff, and it looks like a channel. You can go watch these podcasts there on your own time when you feel free and you want to relax, you can watch all the previous episodes. They're all there. Go ahead and subscribe to that channel. Comment on the videos. We appreciate it very, very much. Here on Twitch, please follow. If you're new here, please follow if you enjoyed what you saw or what you heard, because we are close to that affiliate. We need about 20 more, and then we can start getting the emotes and stuff ready and start prepping for all of that. Schedule wise, we have episodes. We had today's episode. We will have another one this month, and after, well, we'll have to, the team here on our end will discuss it, but I think we'll have the 1st of November, like the first half of November, and then we will probably take a break off for the holidays.
Yeah.
Because we go from Thanksgiving straight into Christmas, and so expect about 4 more episodes if I'm counting this right. 1 more this month, 2 in October, and then
Good
1
Lord.
one in November.
When
What?
you say that, it's like, oh my gosh, it's literally around the corner.
Yeah, it's literally
Yeah.
around the corner. We got about 4 more episodes to go, and then the team will go in and we'll take our holiday break and spend time with our families and all that stuff. But, you know, we'll come up with some content here for you to keep you indulged until we return into the new year. So, it also, under the About section, you can get links to all of these individuals' Twitch channels now. I have put them all in there. You can go ahead and get the links to those. And then if you go to their channels, it'll take you to their respective ats. There's a lot of ats to get all these individuals on your
Don't worry.
on your follow trains. So lots of links to get you to where you're looking for. So on that note, this has been Good Friends, Good Games. I'm Erik. We got Dill, Leshki, and Zenith. And we will see you guys very, very, very soon. We are looking at the... I had it written down here. The next date is
24th.
Be 24th.
24th?
And I won't be here.
24th.
Dun, dun.
Is it the 24th?
It's my fault again, isn't it?
Is
Right?
it-
2 weeks away.
It's always.
Yeah. Oh, I put the
24th.
22nd for some reason.
Yeah, 24th.
24th.
The only
But
reason I know is because it's a wedding. I'm going to a
oh, you're
wedding,
going
so-
to a wedding,
Ah,
right?
okay.
But this is in the works. But the Leshki will be on the Good People with Erik and Hannah in sometime in October, which we'll
Yes.
put that episode. You will see Leshki again pretty soon. So, guys, thank you so much. We will talk to you all soon. You all have a great rest of your Saturday. We appreciate your
Yeah.
time here. Thank you for hanging out with us, and we'll be back soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
All right.